me.
Oh, my camera's not on. Go ahead. Keep talking. Go ahead, brother.
I keep talking? Okay.
Please.
I'm up in the mountains. Actually, I'm about 25 minutes north of Graysville, Tennessee. Now, for those who don't know, the history behind Graysville, Southern Adventist University used to be up there. And even before they were there, Ellen White came and presented at the Graysville Seventh-day Adventist Church. And after she presented, she went out on the foyer. And of course, you know as well as I do, if you're in a church setting with the prophet there, you're going to stand in line to ask questions.
Yes.
And so they were asking her a series of questions, and she paused, and then she pointed to the mountain range where I am, and she said, "I see in the last days God's people taking refuge in these mountains." So I'm in the mountain range where God's prophet said that his people will be shortly before he returns. Now I'm on my fourth building up there. I built myself a little two-bedroom cabin. I built myself a big wood shed. I've got a sawmill in it. I bought a portable sawmill. I built myself a nice sized greenhouse, and we're about 95% done with the fourth building that's going to be the capital of the Wellness Academy. It'll have a Wellness Academy. It'll have little sanctuary, teach about 35 or 40 people.
Wow.
It'll have a little administrative office, a storm shelter in case the devil throws a EF5 tornado at us. We'll be able to handle him with that. I kind of went over budget on the storm shelter, and I was kind of fussing with God. And God let me know, look, if that storm shelter saves one person, you didn't go over budget.
Absolutely.
So I've got 28 fruit trees in the ground, and we're going to have it's six components. It's the Wellness Academy, which is the flagship. It is the chapel. It is orchard and nursery. It
Okay.
it is a thrift store. And that thrift store will almost for nothing, but not quite, but almost for nothing, give away things that people are in need,
Sure.
and receive things that people who have an abundance. And also we've got a component we call logs to lumber. We're really excited about that because we can take your raw logs, we can saw them up into beautiful lumber, and then I've got people working with me. We can build whatever you want us to build, a shed. Uh,
Let
uh,
me
uh,
ask you a question real quick. Let
yes,
me ask you a question
yes,
because I
sir.
know you're going to go on and on because you can do that.
Okay.
How can you people reach you? And then is your land, you got anything near you for that people can move on or buy near you with like-minded people looking to get out to the country?
No, I don't have a yes answer for that right now,
Okay.
but I can get an answer fairly quickly if I pursue it. So what I'll do is I'll pursue it, and maybe the next time you're on, I'll be able to give you some feedback.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me say this though. On our little 6 acre ministry, there'd be enough room for 8, 10, 12 tiny homes for people as we're staffed up. So there's a lot of growth and flexibility in this whole
Sure.
process.
Sure. Thank you. Thank
Anyway,
you.
I'm gonna be quiet because I know everybody else got a lot to share as well.
Oh,
But
God, it's
but
awesome.
we're involved. We're convinced that Jesus is going to bust the skies open here directly,
Yes,
and talk is cheap, and it's time to roll up our sleeves and go to work for the Lord. Let me say one
absolutely.
final point. The Wellness Academy itself, we've got the nerves to call it Battle Creek 2.0 because God has given me a Seventh-day Adventist health message on steroids. And that includes things like what happens when your body's in autophagy, or how to properly use the colloidal silver, or what happens when you
We
get
need we
introduced.
need to talk afterward because I got some questions. I need you. I'll talk to
Okay,
you.
I bring in some firepower.
okay.
God bless
I
you. I
brought in
got
some fire.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you. Okay.
sir.
Thank you. So
Okay.
listen, we need to do that. So make sure also your number is in the chat. My camera's not working here. My camera's out. I'm looking at that. So bear with me here, trying to get my camera going. But God bless you. Somebody said they're bringing some firepower. I heard that.
I brought in some ammunition.
I see that. You come shooting
Yeah.
back, huh? God bless you. Okay, so thank you guys. So yeah, make sure we can reach you because our people are looking. Everybody's asking me every week. First of all, welcome to everybody else. I see a few more people have joined. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we got brother Daniel and we got our brother Trotter, and they're going to put their numbers in the chat for you guys to reach out for assistance. Brother Trotter said that they can get some tiny homes on some land. That's simply outstanding. You got a lot going on with medical missionary. And 7 bouts of cancer, you done beat by God's grace. What a blessing. Our God is
Amen.
awesome. Amen. Our God is awesome. So right now I'm going to go and I'm going to start sharing my screen, but I see my camera is the devil's a liar. We're not gonna worry about him. He can have the
Amen.
camera if that's what he wants. But we're gonna take care of God's people. So I'm gonna give you guys some insight because there's a lot of things that's going on. And then we're gonna hang after I bring you all these things with some things and services that you can supply for yourselves and help for other people. Let me get my screen share going. And then after that, then we can all mix and mingle a little bit, talk about some other things that's going on. Let's hit screen share here. And then let's go down and bring this one up. And then let's go to slideshow and from the beginning. Can you guys see my screen?
I do.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So get your pens and papers out because there's going to be some websites that may interest you. So this is, we always bring something new. If you go onto our site, you can either go to There Are People -TV on our YouTube page, and you'll see all the videos. There's a major video library there that's just tremendous with a lot of options. Those things all cost people. Ours don't cost you a dime. By God's grace, we're able to give you some insight on all kinds of things. We show you websites. If you have not heard this before, write it down. ThomasNet.com, THOMAS, ThomasNet.com. Brother Trotter, you and Daniel knows about it already. You want to write that down because ThomasNet.com lists every manufacturer throughout the United States and Canada. I don't care what it is you want to buy. I don't care what it is you want to buy. They have the list. They have the companies that make it. So if you want to do a dollar store, just register, type in dollar store supplies. They'll match you up with the manufacturers. You want to buy a tiny house, tiny toilet, tiny stove, tiny toaster, they're there. So all those, that lists everything. I don't care what it is you're buying. Okay. If you want to open a clothing store, textile, hotel, pillows, everything's there. So we give people resources that you can actually use because in this time that we're in right now, we try to stop as much struggling as we can for God's people. People being a minute to say, I don't have any money, or I don't have. You have not because you ask not.
Amen.
But get to work. Consider the ant. The ant don't come out with a $50 bill or an ounce of silver. The ant comes out and goes to work. So God says, ask, knock, and seek. So put that on your T-shirt. Ask, knock, and seek, because God's waiting for you to take that first step. It says, when you will find me when you seek me with your whole heart. Okay, so and I always use the example is like the metal detector. You going out getting ready to hunt for some treasure. As soon as you turn it on and show your sincerity and hunt for treasure, God jumping up in the field, sticking his hand up, say, "Here I am." Just because you sought him, just because you came out to seek him. We do the same thing with home, country living, preparation, sustainability, finding country property, finding resolve. My wife and I just got up and walked out the door and started looking, and God blessed us over and above. And we're just grateful for that. So what I put together here today for you to give you some insight on things that's coming up, this was based off all the weather that's going on around the country. It's based off all the power outages and all the extreme things. But also, this is something that's for God's people anyway that needs to go to the country. So I just put together some different items that you guys may need and some things you need to do, and then how to buy them, how to find them, those kinds of things. So just want to give you a little insight. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. So if we know it's going to be hard times, to hide from that hard time, you bring in things so you'll have what you need to get through it. Okay, but the simple pass on it, and he's punished. They're punished. Okay, so we know that hard times are coming. We know even with this weather, what an example. When we got snow and ice or something all over the whole country. So we know those things. So we saw what's there. But what about when the plagues are all over the country? What about when no buy, no sell is all over the country? All of those things we have to consider. So God has given us warning day after day, time, year after year, time after time. We serve a God who tells us the end from the very beginning. So we know where we're going. We know what's happening. We know what's coming. It's not a shocker. And there are people that know nothing about the three angels message or present truth that also see this happening. I had a gentleman tell me that there's people that now is asking him to find them. We met him at the hotel. We were traveling on earlier this week. And he says the people saying, look, find us some land. We're getting out of the cities. The cities are going kaput. They weren't moving because they were church people. They were moving because they saw what's happening. They saw the signs. If you don't see the signs today that something's going on and the cities are getting ready to go kaput, something's wrong with you. Because everything Christ has told us, the Bible has told us, God has told us from the very beginning, has come to pass. So we need to see that. So let's not be the man that just simply pass on it and is punished. Let's not be the woman, the sister, the brother that does that. Let's be the prudent and keep the oil in our lamps, and let's be ready for this. All right. So let's go into this mission here. It equips family with knowledge, tools, faith, community, and action plan. So this piece is going to be about something that should be able to help you guys. So again, be ready to write. So we got a lot of stuff mixed in here. So the winter storm's coming in, right? So when you look for country living, if you guys who don't know about the book, I wrote a book on Amazon. It's called Country Living, Just About Everything. So type in Country Living Just, and it'll pop up. 42 chapters. Country Living, Just About Everything, including God, more than a guidebook. It prepares you, if you've never lived in a country, to move to the country and be self-sustained, and gives you so much insight and all those kinds of fun stuff. But this storm and things that you see now affects people even in the city. You'll have storms in the city. You'll have major storms in the country. We've got snow in the country now that's tremendous, but because we're prepared for it, it's not an issue because we prepared for it. We knew it was coming, those kinds of things. Heat waves, floods, all the grid failure, all these things. We got a family member now down south, has no power, hadn't had power for a few days, all those kinds of things. And then what about your medical vulnerabilities? So we're going to teach you how to hedge against that here a little bit. So core principles here is preparation for one. Be prepared, because there's no secret that these things are coming, that they're going to happen, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you got in the bank, no matter what you get ready to do, no matter how big your 401k is. We talked about all of that. No matter what you got in the trust, putting your land in the trust, that has nothing to do with all this. Be prepared, because something's happening. Because with all the money you have in the bank and all the things you have in the trust and all the gold and silver you have, when push comes to shove and things get hard, you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver. And again, food don't grow in Walmart. You have to have already prepared, if that makes sense. Okay. And then you have to have redundancy. More than one way to heat a house. So you got the propane tank, the gas. If you tie it into the city, you got wood burning stoves, you got electric baseboard heaters, you got solar generators, you got gas and diesel generators. You want to have redundancy in everything. Okay. And then portability, to be able to move stuff around, get good water, find good fresh water, clean water, all those things. And then also yourself being able to move if need be ready to go. And safety has to always be a key. When people say safety, you think about protection and throwing your arms up and guarding against this, that, and the other. But you can miss other things like disease, pestilence, famine, or you can miss bacteria and cross-contamination in food and water and all those kinds of things. So sanitation is part of safety, all those things. And then community, being able to work with people around you. Don't show a fear because you see people and all those things of being able to help. Even when you move to the country, it's not a place for us to be hiding. So we have to identify ourselves and introduce ourselves and tell what we're good at, because there's a use for you in the country. And in addition to evangelizing, but at the same time, those people also are there for you. So in the event there were a fire, you're your first responder. If they had a fire, you can be their first responder and help those people out and back and forth. So we're going to talk about that even in the city for the people who have not yet been able to get out of the city. Okay. So power strategies. Layers, power systems. We're going to be talking about solar generators, and I'm also going to give you companies that sell these that you can actually go out, look up yourself, and find them. Do your due diligence, look for the best price, all those kinds of things. I'm just going to throw some nice ones at you, and you take a look at those and see what's good for you or what works for you. Things I find, it's just really, you guys know this by now, just to show you and make you aware that these exist, so you will be getting the websites. But there are solar generators. They charge from the sun. Some of them are really not that big, but they're quite powerful. And then it depends on the sun. So if you got one and you charge it up, don't expect it to get you through 1 or 2 days on a charge, that kind of thing. It may get you sometimes 6 to 8 hours. If the sun's still up, good, God bless. But get the things you need charged up during the day. So when it's charging during the day, make sure you got your cell phone, tablet, all those things that run on power running on that. And if you got one thing I tell people real quick is also if when the power goes out, you know how you got the solar lights out in your yard and they guide your path and all those things. When the power goes out and you're in your home and it's dark, those solar lights you charged up during the day for your walkway path at night, bring those bad boys in the house at night. That's your light. That's your lights for the house, because you let those charge up during the day. So don't sleep those. Okay. So there's solar generators. There's fuel generators that do dual, diesel or regular gas, or all kinds of, or diesel or gas and propane. So they got dual generators now, even at all your big box stores. You'll see those. And they got some that are both 110 and 220. So they can run the higher end items as well in your house. Okay. And they're running off propane. They suck up propane really rapidly, kind of fast, but it's still an option. And then you, of course, the solar panels and the solar generators and the solar panel system. So we're going to be talking about that. And then your manual backups. So there's all kinds of things you can have. Even with water and redundancy, we're going to talk about that. Here's some indoor safe solar generators. And I just do a few websites for you to go and take a look at them. And these are generators that keep your house running. They'll keep your house running. Some of them aren't as powerful as the others, and some you may have to get two. And you'll hear a lot of people talk about what they want, for their home. I want this for my home. I want that for my home. But here's a generator. You should have these whether you're in the city, whether you're in the country. And I'm going to say this. You should have these definitely if you're in the city, but for sure they should be part of your home. They should be as close as a doorknob if you live in the country, because you want to have redundancy. Because if you plan to move surely, but solely off the grid, you're going to need to have generators on a higher end level. You're going to need to have solar systems set up on a higher level. And you'll still need redundancy even with that. So EcoFlow at ecoflow.com, and they got all kinds of generators. The Blue Yeti, some people call it the Yeti. Y'all know the Yeti, the snow monster, but the Blue Yeti at blueyetipower.com. The Yetis are known for being a good generator. People ask me all the times about the Yetis. Okay, and then Jackery.com and Go Zero. So go ahead, Go Zero that generator is supposed to keep you warm, and they don't play. It's supposed to be really nice. So go there, see what's in your budget, but read all the specs, do your due diligence on those generators to make sure it's something that's going to be good for you. Sometimes cheap is not better. You may see one that's $1,500 and it serves that purpose, but check out the one that's $6,000. At least see what it offers. Does it give you twice as much, 3 times as much? Does it give you more power? Can it run a refrigerator? And if you got electric range, can it run those at the same time? Or if you got an air conditioner and a range or a refrigerator, can it run those at the same time? Consider those facts as well, and then see what you can unplug or plug in. So know all the specs about those. So do your due diligence there, please. And then we got, let's go here. Then we got high capacity systems like EcoFlow and Delta Pro. Make sure I got the right one. Yeah, EcoFlow and Delta Pro. You're going to look at systems that can deal with running that furnace or running that central air or running multiple things at one time. Sometimes you may have to shut some things off if you want to do the washer dryer. When you're buying systems at this price range. When you want something that can handle all of that, you're going to be spending a lot more money. But if you do it right, you do it the first time, you're good to go. There's the Blue Yeti again, the AC300. Look at that. That's in the $3,000 to $6,000 range. And then the Jackery 3000. So check those systems out. Read the specifications, and then go to the very next website and see what works best for you, because you'll be awful rough sitting there with $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, but your fingertips are frozen because you bought the wrong one. You bought the $1,500 one, or you bought the $3,000 one that didn't have all the specs, but it looked good. So do your due diligence, your checks, and your services. Okay. Other than that, you're going to be taking that money and putting it in the fire to keep the fire going. Okay. So I want to make sure you buy some things to hedge against the issues that's going on. So this is happening now to people in the cities and to the country. Don't think because you live in the city, you're going to escape issues, because even when there's insurrection, and then with insurrection, they bring about the martial law, your power gonna go out, your home gonna get raided, your land is not safe, the police are overworked, the military is not gonna respond to you, you're going to be left on your own. That's why God is saying Babylon is fallen. Come out of her. Come out of her. These things are happening whether we like it, whether we understand it, whether we agree or not. It happened with Babylon. Daniel foretold, the prophets foretold of Babylon falling. He literally foretold of Babylon falling. Matter of fact, when he was talking with Nebuchadnezzar's son, it fell. It fell to the Medes and the Persians. It fell. He foretold of that. And then as they conquered it, then they were conquered by the Greeks, Alexander the Great. And then they were conquered by the Roman Empire. So it's happening. And that's your current Babylon. But come out of her. Come out of her, my people. So we know that it's proven. This was happening. This was foretold of Noah. Noah told it for 120 years, y'all. It's going to rain. We got to go. Let's get this boat done. Let's get this done. What is it called, Dad? A boat. Let's go. Let's go. It never rained before. So we don't need more warnings. We know better. We just need to get about it. Don't force yourself trying to convince people of what's going to happen. Focus on making sure you're squared away, your family's squared away, and that you can help the next person and or brother, sister. But so don't try to force it on anybody. Championspowerequipment.com, high-end generators, and then Westinghouse. Westinghouse has outdoor power. WestinghouseOutdoorPower.com. Okay, they got generators. Some of these are smaller, $800, $250, $2,500 range, propane, gas, and diesel. Those are smaller, minor ones, but then you're going to know about some bigger ones very soon. So solar panels, Renogy.com. Go there, check these things out. Go Zero again. Go Zero has solar panels. EcoFlow has the panels, 200 to 400 watt foldable systems. Foldable systems, so they're portable. You guys can haul those around, especially if you got campers and those kinds of things. Okay, so solar panels would be outstanding, and they're good if you are traveling with a mobile home or if you got tiny houses on your property. So they're good backup because a lot of this can go stored if you don't necessarily need it. If you're on the if somebody's off the grid, but they got a big enough system to charge up a lot of those houses, and you can have backup. Remember, you want to have redundancy because when that ice comes in or that rain cloud or that storm and it sits over there for a while and you have no option, you got something. You got something better than nothing. Heat and warmth. These are redundancies. These are things that you must hedge against. You want to hedge against a heat stroke. What I ask people, what kills you faster, the heat or the cold? Being frozen or heat? And people say it's being frozen, but no, that's not the case. It's heat because the brain can't get too hot. That kills you faster. So you want to make sure you have a way to be cooled as well. You don't want to freeze for hypothermia. A sad story. They talk about two young ladies who were told to go to the country years ago. And I remember hearing this story, and it still bothers me to this day. But somebody was talking about moving to the country, and they followed. They listened, but nobody told them how to prepare. And they went to the country, and they froze to death. So we tell people we teach people preparedness by God's grace. So electric blankets are key. Electric blankets are key. Indoor safe heaters. You want to make sure that when you use heaters, they're indoor safe. You can have those. Even if you never use them, better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. We got alternative stoves. We got 3 stoves. One-eye stoves, they take butane gas. We got those stored in the closet. Just take one out, pop it up, click, 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 lights right up, put your pot on and cook. Smaller ones that fold down, that go right into your backpack. Open them up and they fold out. You can set a pot right on top of it, okay? Propane, sterno fluid, or wooden sticks for stoves. People don't think like that, but you're going to have to start thinking like that because everything is going to go kaput. Got a new book that's coming out. You guys will see that in probably another 2.5 months. It's called To the Country and Live, the Ark book. And it's based off, what happened in Noah's days and what resources they had, and then what's going on in our days and the resources we have that we can bring on board. And it ties in every single option that we have that we can do to be self-sustained in the event of everything going off and not coming back on for 3 to 5 years. Okay, and it's the Ark book, and it's 44 chapters, and it's awesome, and it covers every aspect. But it talks about all the things that people miss. A brother asked me about sleeping bags on last week. Sleeping bags are rated for coldness, for temperature. So when you find a good sleeping bag website, look up the rating on those sleeping bags. And then wool blankets. One thing about wool blankets, it's a natural fiber. So it allows the body to breathe, not really overheat, not really sweat, and all those kinds of things, and keeps you warm. That's why the military uses wool, with wool socks, with wool long johns, those kinds of things. So we ordered, my wife and I, well, I should say my wife, because she's smarter than me by leaps and bounds. She ordered a case of wool blankets. She got a case of wool blankets. She ordered cases of backpacks, cases of the mats that go under the backpack. So when you put your backpack on, you got the tent mats or the mattress pads that you lay out on the ground, and then you put your backpack on there, or I'm sorry, you put your sleeping bag on top of that, keeps you from getting wet, just like you do in the military. Okay, so wool blankets are going to be key. Those things keep you warm. So does wool socks, and then foot powder, because God says, pray not your flight be in the winter. Even if it's in the rainy season, them feet get wet, you start getting blisters and stuff from all that walking. Make sure you got dry wool socks, extra socks with you. I'm Army trained, so you guys know the stuff I'm talking about. And then foot powder. So when you pull over, I don't care how wet it is, how cold it is, you got to come out of them wet socks, right? Take them boots off, take them socks off, them shoes off, take them socks off. Use that foot powder. That's what it's for, realistically, even in the winter. It's for drying the water, the moisture real quick so you don't get frostbite. Foot powder absorbs that, get your foot back to being dry again, then put on your dry socks, even though your feet's still cold, and get back to walking, because you have to keep stepping on those feet to keep that blood from flowing, keep that blood flowing. You got to keep moving. We did some mountain training in Washington State, Mount Rainier. It was the summertime, right? But by 12 o'clock with that training, we left out at 5 in the morning. By 12 o'clock, I had snow up to my waist. I'm in a T-shirt up top, and the bottom is frozen, but you can't stop walking. So we walked Mount Rainier. We walked up the mountain so far that we had to come down the other side, just so we'll know what our bodies can endure. That was some ranger training. And by the time we got down to the 90-foot cliff that we had to rappel off of, which was our biggest fear when we first started out, we got to rappel off that cliff. When we got to that cliff, it was like stepping down the first step of the front porch. We were done because we were starving for one, but we had finally thawed out as we worked our way back down that mountain. But be prepared, keep those feet dry. And then Mylar blankets. Mylar blankets are those space alien aluminum foil looking blankets that traps your body heat, and it multiplies that body heat for you and kicks it right back on you to keep you from getting hypothermia, all those kinds of things. So those are really thin, and you can buy those on Amazon.com, and you can get them in packs of 10 or 20, and they're very inexpensive. But have those in your collection. Have those in your collection. Cold weather clothing, thermal layers. Thermal layers are very important, not very tight. Keep them loose. If you got on one layer, the next layer you put on, don't make it skin tight, because you want just a little bit of space for a little airflow there. And then another layer. So you want to dress in layers. Wool thermal wear is the best. Ladies, please, thermals, 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 thermals. Get them for yourself, get them for your husband. And if you can, get them in wool. Get them in wool or at least cotton. But a lot of the other, like the twins, polyester and those things don't work well with the body. So get them, if you can get them in wool, get them in wool. If you can get them in cotton, get them in cotton, okay? Heated socks, heated gloves. All these things they sell now. You can use your cell phone to charge up heated socks and heated gloves. You sure can. Insulated boots is key. Something that keeps the water out and keeps the cold out. Insulated boots. Hats and scarves. You lose so much of your body heat through the top of your head. And you see me, I'm a little hair challenged here. And then all the blood going to the brain, keeping things going, that goes right out with cold air. So you want to make sure the top of your head is covered. That's where you lose the most of your body heat rapidly, and then rapidly. Make sure you keep that covered, just like you keep it covered in the sun when the sun is really high, because it can really dry you out as well. Okay, so Cabela's.com, y'all know Cabela's website. So Cabela's.com, Cabelas. Cabela's is not wholesale. Cabela's is a retail store, but you can also find them online and order the things you need. But a lot of these you can get just about anywhere. So just want to give you some areas where you go that people are neutral with, where you can find those. But a lot of the heated stuff, heated socks or thermal stuff, you can also find online. So if you go to Amazon or some other websites and Google wool thermal layer underwear or clothing, wool socks, all those kinds of things, it's worth the money. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, okay? Natural fiber, okay? Okay, so you know about the electric blankets, all this, the Mylar. Now you know to go to Cabela's to get all the other fun stuff. Emergency essentials. Emergencyessentials.com has a lot of stuff for you dealing with water. 5-gallon containers. These containers are designed to hold your water and keep that water stable for a long amount of time. Water bricks, water barrels. Okay, you can get those 55-gallon drums. You can get all the things you want, all those kinds of things, and treat them right. You have to put a little bleach in the water. It tells you how to do all that fun stuff. You can get tablets for purification, but you want to have good barrels and good places to store your water in, and then good locations. So go to this website, take a look, and see what's there. You're going to need water stored. There's going to be a time coming up in the future where water will be cut off. That's why the Bible tells you your bread and water shall be sure. When you're obeying God, when you're doing what you're told to do, when that time comes where we even have to flee our country property, he says your bread and water shall be sure. So right now, before that happens, when we pray that doesn't happen anytime soon, you want to prepare against it. So if you're in the city, prepare to have fresh water. We told that to a young lady in Texas, didn't listen. Storm came in, shut everything down, went to the sink, nothing came on. Power was out for several days. Okay, so you have to hedge against that. You need to have water stored. Keep your water down in a cool, dark place, not up in the kitchen, up there by the bright lights where the sun comes through those plastic bottles, all those kinds of things. You don't want that. So keep your water cool in a dark place, okay? But go to the website, at least write this site down and take a look at emergencyessentials.com. All right, let's go, Kevin. Get going, Kevin. All right. And then you got water purification. There's the Berkey system. A lot of people know about the Berkey filter, okay? The Berkey filter and the life straws. We have a supply of life straws, and life straws also have the bags. So you can literally take water. You can hang this bag up in a tree. You can take water out of the swamp, pour it in the life straw bag, turn it down. When it filters down, turn the valve on, put your cup down there and drink the water. It takes it all out. That military, it takes it all out. So you got life straws, the Berkey filter. Everybody knows about the Berkey filters. Life straw also has a straw you can literally put right in the water. And I tell people some things that make them go yucky, 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 but you can put a life straw in a toilet. That's how it's designed, and get clean water. I mean, when you're dying of thirst, you don't want to die of thirst. But this is the quality of stuff you want to purchase. And as we speak, these things are not terribly expensive, and they're worth having. Because when you have to leave walking and you put that backpack on, you may literally, without exaggeration, end up drinking water out of a ditch. You can go quite a bit of time without food, but there's a limited time you can go without water. So you want to make sure, if you're not sure where your water is coming from, that you got life straws in your backpack, that you got Berkey filters near you, okay? So go to lifestraw.com, berkeyfilter.com, and Sawyer.com. Sawyer has water purification items, tablets, papers that you can test water before you drink it. All these things are key because if you got a Sandpoint well, another young sister called me. She went to see the house that she's getting ready to buy, our country property. She was looking at the house. It looked all nice. Everything's running fine. She says, what's this little building out back? The real estate agent says, that's your pump house. Went out there. She found the guy opened the door, and there was a hand well. He pumped it 7 times, and water came out. That's what you want. That's redundancy. He says there's 2 wells on the property. You want redundancy in everything, and she has that. And that was key for her, making that person in that property. That's key, okay, because you can use that for all kinds of things. All right, here we go. All right, water storage. Again, you had that already. Food storage, very, very, very important. Very, very, very important. So we bought from My Patriot Supply. So go to mypatriotsupply.com. My Patriots, this is before we got food that's stored that we bought before we were 7-day Adventists, because we bought the 25, 30-year food because we knew of these things happening even before we knew anything about 7-day Adventist ministry. I know that's shocking. A lot of people think we are lifetime 7-day Adventists, but no. So we were really just calling ourselves preppers and hedging against it, because we hedging against these times because we knew they were coming, because common sense tells us they're coming because of our background. So we're telling people, look at the average person who knows nothing about the 7-day Adventist ministry, and they're moving out of the city. They're prepping, they're preparing, and we should have done it. We started doing it a long time ago. So mypatriots.com sells food that's good for 25, 30 years. They're not the only website. There's tons of other websites that you can check out. If you like vegan meals, if you like dehydrated or freeze-dried fruits and vegetables, all those things, you can get them, okay? GossenFarms.com. Go right to their site. Go right to their site. Freeze-dried and canned foods. There's a lot there. Prepare, store up, hedge against what's coming. Trust me, you'll be much happier. You can breathe a serious sigh of relief knowing you have something in the event of, God forbid, that your stomach gets to growling, but your babies get hungry, or grandbabies, or even the neighbor's kids, and there's nothing around because Walmart got closed down because of insurrection or martial law. Then people started robbing and raiding people's houses, and there's no food coming in because when they see the truck coming up the highway, they're going to just stop that truck, hijack it, and they won't be able to supply those stores. And there's no way you can grow food in the city. These are the times that are coming. And all you got to do is look at Gaza, look at Ukraine, look at all the other areas where war is, look at the famine in all the countries in Africa and Asia and all those things that's happening. Or you won't have not only you will not have the food or the resources, you won't have the freedom, and you won't have the respect from people, because people are just going to lose it. So you guys have to hedge against that, okay? And then cooking systems. They have camp stoves. They got camp stoves, believe it or not, just like this, really small, just like my hand, and then it opens up and performs for you. They got rocket stoves that you can make with bricks. Go to YouTube. I always tell people about the YouTube downloader and Google rocket stoves. So when we got up to our country property where we are now, we got a 40-acre farm back 4.5 hours away in Beloit, Wisconsin. And so I picked veggies off of that, came up here to our house because our house was being worked on, and I set up these bricks. I took the cinder blocks. You guys know them, they're about $2 a piece, the big cinder blocks. Set up rocket stoves, got my big pot, an old grill from an oven, set it on there, and I was canning outside in the yard. I was canning, got my jars all cleaned up, washed, and hot water, everything going. Cooked my tomato sauce and everything down and seasoned and everything. I'm canning outside. Rocket stoves from rocks, from bricks, from out of the ground, burning wood like you wouldn't believe, and it charges that heat up so high that it's not funny with just regular wood and fire, but using those cinder blocks makes those flames shoot like a rocket, and you can cook anything. So camp stoves, rocket stoves, look those up online. Solar ovens. There are solar ovens that you can make. Go to YouTube and Google. Go to YouTube and Google. Go to YouTube and put in solar ovens, and it's going to come right up and show you how you can make those. And then cast iron cookware. Cast iron cookware is awesome for country living. Cast iron cookware is awesome for outside. If you remember the old time Western shows that used to come on all the time, they always had this tripod over the fire with a big old kettle. Y'all remember what I'm talking about, full of beans with the top on it. That's called a Dutch oven. That one pot cooked everything. You could bake a cake in that pot. You can bake on a fire. You can bake cornbread in that pot. You can do everything. So that cast iron, when you get those brand new cast iron stuff, you cure it. Make sure you keep it oiled, because if you wash it and just hang it up, it'll rust on you. Make sure you keep it oiled and greased, all those kinds of things. That'll last you so long. Cast iron will last you for years and years and years and years. So you want to get you some good cast iron cookware for your country living, even in the city, if you're stuck in the city, because you can build a fire outside. You've got something to burn. I don't know where it's going to be because you don't have much wood, but build that fire and you can cook on that, okay? So Bass Pro, y'all familiar with Bass Pro? They got that. Bass Pro is a little higher, but it's Bass Pro and Cabela's actually is owned by the same people. But it just gives you an insight on where things are, because they got a lot of camping gear there, and they got camping cookware. But you can also get camping cookware wholesale and also on Amazon. And then I gave you thomasnet.com. So if you want to buy all this stuff in bulk right from the manufacturer and open your own business selling anything I showed you, go right to thomasnet.com, find the manufacturer, make an agreement with them, and then they got companies that even drop ship stuff with your name on it. So you can white label, say, hey, I want my name to go on that, and take orders and ship them out. Okay? Keep that in mind. I show you all kinds of ways that you can do things for yourself. Okay, so we talked about food storage, right? We're good there. Now, medical supplies, very key. And this is all dealing with two things. It's dealing with country living, of course, but it's also dealing with the situation, what's happening right now, because there are still people without power and been without power for a while. Okay, what kind of medical supplies you got? Who's your first responder? You are your first responder. Okay, so first aid kits. My sister Kay and her husband, Brother Devontae, they're online here. Kay makes the 3 Angels medical missionary bags. First aid kits, portable, awesome. She got various prices. You guys want to match up with her. She's got diabetes testing in there, heart monitoring's in there, fake skin with real thread and needles, so you practice on sewing up stitches. But Band-Aids, gauze, all those things, it's loaded. So talk to her about those, but also go on Amazon and you'll see these bags. You must have at least 2 to 3 first aid kits. All of your cars should have a full-fledged first aid kit. It just should, because you don't know what vehicle you're going to get stuck out there with. And then if you got your backpack packed, keep it packed, your go bag, you should have a first aid kit right there in that as well. Okay? And then keep up with your prescription drugs. Of course, we don't recommend no pharmacia, no medicine, all those kinds of things. However, there are things that keep people's heart going so they can get where they need to go. But make sure you know about, hedge against any issues with running out of medicine. If you're on a prescribed medication, make sure you know where they are at any time. Make sure people know if you're on a medication. What's wrong with him? He looked like he's mad. No, he's having a seizure. So people should know if you got an issue, or if you're having a heart attack, or if you're on medicine. Let people know those kinds of things and where your prescription is. And then hygiene supplies. Okay, my daughter and I, we went shopping. We went rebate shopping because we have a store here. It's a big box store called Menards. So every time you go shopping, you get 11% back. So we went in one day and it was 16% off everything you can get in a shopping bag. And we saw these big giant cases of 16 bars of soap. I think it's 16 bars of soap for like $6, something crazy. So we bought 2 big old packs just to keep in storage. So hygiene supplies are going to be key. You can melt soap bars down and make your own design. You want to do that, or you can buy chemicals from Thomas Net and make your own soap bars. But everything it takes, ladies, men, hygiene supplies are going to be key. Okay. Me, I have to have some type of aftershave or something when I shave, because my skin is sensitive, and then you want to cool it down so it's not burning. But so you want to have something that's wholesome, so you want to look those up. That's part of a hygiene supply as well. So make sure you guys got hygiene supplies, nail clippers, all the things that you need. Keep that in mind. You need to have a supply and stock of those. Okay. I've got 2 55-gallon drums of Gojo body wash. Gojo body wash, 2 55-gallon drums, so that we got supplies. We can put them in gallon jugs or bottles or whatever and do all kinds of fun stuff we got. But we had a business where we bought things from places that was going out of business, or we got overstock and all those kinds of things. I said, I'm going to keep these. Okay. So we want to have that. And then there's the Red Cross there. Now, we don't recommend and use the Red Cross for many things, but if you get caught in the city and you cold and you stuck, Red Cross it. Trust God in all things. If they're available for you to use them. Put God first in everything you do. Okay. But we put them on there because a lot of people are in the city and the situation's going on now. Some of your friends and family may need help. Red Cross is right there to help you, as medical missionaries should be as well. But how many medical missionary numbers do we have? Who can we call as medical missionary that can get out and help us? Those things have got to change. We got to be able to be on call to go ahead and help people. So I challenge you today to start putting databases together and putting those numbers out there so that people in all the cities or countries or rural properties can help you. Tell you something else I found out, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on that. Cancer is on the rise tremendously. The death rates in 24 and 25 were so high for people under the age of 50, it was ridiculous. It's colorectal cancer, #1 right now in the country. Guess what? Guess who are the people that it mostly affect? Not the age group. The age group is between 25 and 50. It's a little lower than 25, actually, but under the age of 50. It affects those living in the rural areas. More people die from it in the city because the population is dense, right? But the number of people it mostly affects are in the rural area. So when you do go to the country, make sure you're still getting doing your due diligence with medical checks and checking systems and things like that. Those people are dying and losing their life. So they're too far away from the hospital. Sometimes they don't want to go get their checkup, right? Or they just can't take days off of work. The foods that people are eating now is killing us. I wrote about that 3-4 years ago. It's online. It's on the site there. It's free. It's called Our Food is Killing Us. And it talks to you about different kinds of food that's doing those things. So let's hedge against all this stuff by making sure that we pay attention to what's going on. Also, special needs planning. Okay, special needs. You want to have CPAP backup if it's breathing machine issues. You got oxygen machines, nebulizers, heart devices, anything, defibrillators. If you have those things, or if you're part of those things, or if somebody in your family has those issues, make sure you let other people know it. Even if you got to write a note and put it around their neck. And if somebody laying in bed, they'll know that, because they used to have the medical alert bracelets that tell you what's wrong with the person. But make sure you guys got this equipment backed up, okay? In the event of you have to leave your house in an emergency, these machines you can buy now. Just about everything here now you can purchase right on Amazon, right online. Put those in backpacks and be ready to go with those things. Okay, how many people tell you guys about this kind of stuff, okay? And then lighting, solar lanterns, LED flashlights, very bright now and very inexpensive, okay? Solar lanterns, LED lights, and headlamps. You got things you can put right on your head now, little bands, they're $1 or $2 in the stores, in the big box stores. If you got it from the bulk wholesale place, like I gave you, thomasnet.com, then you can start marketing them to people and even give them out, okay? And goldzero.com has a lot of those things. Solar lanterns are so key because they charge up from the sun. You don't have to put batteries in them, all those kinds of things. Then they got crank generator lights and radios with horns on them and all those kinds of things. And you can get those on Amazon. So they don't have to be charged by solar. They're generated. So you got a lot of things like that on Amazon. Flashlight, solar, and it's also a charger, by the way. It'll charge your cell phone and your tablet. Okay, well, what good is my tablet and my cell phone in the country when everything is out? because if you paid attention when I told you before, when you get a YouTube downloader software and an external hard drive while you can, and download all those fix and repair and heart fixing and baby delivery and food cooking and stitch sewing up videos and mechanics and brake fixing videos, store them all on a flash drive, put all those in a bag and seal all that up with your little soda piece. When you get out to the country, now everything is shut off. You can, wait a minute, I got some videos to tell me how to fix this that I didn't think of, how to weld, how to dig a well, how to do this, how to do that. So get the YouTube downloader software and the hard drive, download all those videos and store them on a flash drive and keep all that stuff separate. In the event there's an EMP, you whip out your little EMP-proof bag and your laptop and everything was saved from that, okay? Because you had it all secured. So in the country, you got resources when nobody else do, okay? Communication. That is at National Ocean and Aeronautic radios, all the big, the NOAA, all the radios and all the things that you can get. You can check the weather and know news, know what's going on. Make sure you got these types of radios. You can get them on Amazon. You can't turn on your regular radio and pick up what you pick up on these channels. You can't pick them up unless you have an NOAA. Get your radios, get your walkie-talkies. They got walkie-talkies now that literally are super duper strong. You can be 5 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours away in a lot of cases and still pick up each other's signal. You can use general local walkie-talkies or you can get national walkie-talkies. And then also don't forget Midland radios, the original CB citizen band radios from back in the day. So get your CB radios. People remember Smokey and the Bandit. And they were talking. They didn't have cell phones back then, but yet they were all talking in the car back and forth because so was Smokey, the police. They had CBs or citizen band radios, and these are available today to still buy. Cobra and Midland and all those things. Get your CB radio. You simply plug it into a 12-volt battery, put your antenna up, and breaker. Here you have the Christian Cruiser right here. So go ahead and get your CB radios. All these things you need to have in storage. And then you need to have plans with these walkie-talkies when somebody coming up to your house or coming up to your land, so you'll know who each other is. Okay, you got codes and all those things you guys can develop. So there's a lot of things we can talk about, but I did this piece based off what's going on now, and everybody should have this. And then a couple other things you need to have on your person, in your backpack, not to hurt anybody, is hatchets, knives, folding saws, right? And paracord. I'll start with the hatchets. These are ways you chop limbs loose and clean the bark off of them and do all kinds of things and get wood dry so you can start a fire, so you can heat up some hot water. Sometimes you can just drink some warm water and feel better. But what if you can put some taters in there, some taters? Okay, so these are things you need to have, and knives for cutting things up. And then the folding saws. Now, they have folding saws that unfold, and you can literally cut trees and brush and all kinds of things and build a shelter. These are must-haves. These are must-haves. Even in the city, these are must-haves because they're in your backpack when you're hiking, when you're walking. Everybody's backpack should have these items. If you got 5 people in the family, at least 2 backpacks should have saws, knives, and hatchets. At least. I even got throwing hatchets. I got mean ones. But have these things because it saves you on the road. They weigh nothing. By the time you put everything together, you got a good ruck pack, maybe 60 pounds, maybe 65 pounds, depends on how much weight you can carry. But everything there is key. Okay, they even have pouches of water. My wife bought some dry powder pouches the other week. It was coconut water. You just add it to water, and you got coconut water. Okay, so there's so many things that you can do now, and water is good for the body. Okay, paracords. Paracords, you'll see them on some knives or swords. They wrap them with this strong army cord. A paracord is really strong. They use for parachutes, those kinds of things. That paracord unfolds, but those things can pull hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So even though they're really thin, by the time you unwrap it, you can use this to save lives. You can use this to make tents, make shelters, make clothes, and all kinds of things. So make sure you got that. Home Depot or some of the big box stores, even what's that clothing store? Ross for Less. They all see all these items I'm seeing here. Do you see you'll see these at Ross for Less, and they're usually cheap. And you go to the big box stores, you'll also see all this stuff sitting right down the aisles for $8, $7, $6. Grab it, and then grab it. And then you can order them online on Amazon as well. Okay, so make sure you guys got some of all of this. Matches are key. Fire and repair, very key. Matches, they sell stick matches, they sell waterproof matches. You can light them in a fire. They got all kinds of matches. Matches is key. You got to look at canisters. You can keep those matches in. Matches start fires. And if they don't start it fast enough, you also want to have you some fire starter. These are key things that you need. And then they got the flint sticks. You got a knife, you open that up, you got the flint sticks. They got the new walking staff now. It has a compass on it. It has a sword on it. It has a knife inside. It has a piece to sharpen the knife. It has something that could cut rope. It's got all kinds of things. And then it has a flint stick on there so you can start fires. Okay. And the part that holds the matches and the fire and the grass, if you want to put that down in there as well. Okay, so get those things. Those are available online right now. Amazon got all kinds of good things. And then duct tape. Well, I don't want to carry a whole roll of duct tape. You don't have to. Grab you an item and roll enough of that duct tape off of there till you happy, and get that duct tape and put it in your bag. But you'll wish you had a whole roll because they got the duct tape, the Gorilla Tape, and all those things that can literally put things together for you to have yourself a shelter or a house or to block wind that's coming in and cracks and all those kinds of things. These are things you want to have. And your next best friend will be zip ties. Zip ties are also a security device. You can hold things together and keep things locked up and secured. Zip ties are something you can have. And then while I'm thinking, throw yourself a couple of Ziploc bags in there, the small sandwich ones and the gallon bags, because in case you have to get in water or walk in water above your waist, everything in your pocket can stay dry. Your matches can stay dry, all those things. So throw in a couple of Ziplocs in your backpack. Okay? All right, here we go. Home safety. This is what people miss. There was a case last year, 2025. 2025. It was toward the end. It was at the end of 2024, so the beginning of 2025. A lot of people left their homes to go on vacation, and I remember specifically 2 different families. One family of 4. None of them woke up. They went to their summer house. Oh, so it was the summertime. They went to their summer house and none of them woke up. Another family of 2, husband and wife, went to their summer house, didn't wake up. And the reason for that was smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors. They did not have carbon monoxide detectors. And when they went to sleep, carbon monoxide filled the home and they died. In the country living people, please remember to have solar batteries, rechargeable batteries, and multiple smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. Brand new, sit them on the shelf. You can get those wholesale dirt cheap. Get your 10, 5, 10, put them on the shelf. Put them on the shelf, but make sure they're stored rocking throughout the house. Make sure they're working, okay? And use rechargeable batteries that can charge through your solar charger. Have extra batteries and redundancy in that as well. But you'll go to sleep and be just as comfortable and sleep so good you don't wake up. Okay, so let's hedge against that. So tell everybody, warn people about this as well. Smoke detectors are going to be key in the country. They're key right now in this city. People are dying in the city from fires. They had no warning. And then they're dying in the city from carbon monoxide because they got cold. But you bought the generator in that give off, carbon dioxide, all those things, give off that back, and you're breathing all that in, and it puts you to sleep and you don't wake up. The CO detector will go off and warn you against those things. Then you get some ventilation and shut those things off. So let's hedge against that. And then the next biggest thing that I tell everybody in a heartbeat, and it should be 3 of these in every house. Even if you just got a camper, it should be at least 2. Fire extinguishers. You are your first responder. You are your first responder. When you're in your house, your country property, it should be at least 2 upstairs. It should be at least 3 downstairs. Because when you wake up and there's a fire right at your bedroom door, you can take this and put it out. Or if there's a fire at your kids' area, you can use that and go right through. Spray the base of the fire, not the top of the fire. Spray the base of the fire. All those kinds of things. And then look at the fire extinguishers and know what they're rated for, what they're good for. Is this for water? Can I use this on grease? Because if it's a liquid fire extinguisher that has water base, you can't spray that on a grease fire because it makes it spread and get inflamed, those kinds of things. So you want to make, if it's halon, then you can do that, but then it's hard to breathe, so you got to be careful. So know what you got, what you're spraying, okay? But fire extinguishers, people, go buy them. You can get them very, 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 very inexpensive right now at your big box stores, okay? And then before emergencies, charge all your devices. Charge everything up. Charge everything up. Fill your water bottles. Fill your water tanks. Know everything is up. Fill your gas tank up before you go to bed. Don't go to bed with just a quarter tank of gas in your car, because come the emergency, you got to jump up and get way out of town. A quarter tank ain't going to do it. So if you get a chance, just top your vehicle off. You're going to use the gas anyway. Well, yeah, it broke me though. but you're going to use the gas anyway. So top your vehicle off before you go to bed. Don't leave it way down there at a quarter of a tank, eighth of a tank, that kind of thing, because you can't get far enough. You may not be able to get to the gas stations because remember, I was in Chicago when they had the gas shortage way back in the day. Y'all don't remember that. And they had lines around the block, people trying to get gas. And yes, people were stealing people's gas and all those kinds of things. So hedge against that. Same thing with water. Make sure that you got that squared away. Prepare food. Make sure food is already prepared, dehydrated, canned, stored, whatever. So in the event of a situation, you can now go down to your emergency supply and start and continue to live. In the event you got to go to the country, you have something to go to the country with. If you're in the country, you can just start enjoying those resources, okay? And when you're canning and preparing food, can and prepare food you like to eat. Don't do nothing yucky you're not going to eat. Do something you like to eat. Spoil yourself. I'm going to can me some corn on the cob. So, so spoil yourself, those kinds of things. But no, hedge against the emergencies and all those things. And then check alarms. Make sure your smoke detector alarm is key. The battery's good to go. Okay, make sure your fire alarm is key. Even if you got alarms on your house or system or whatever, make sure you check those things. Okay, we have to be aware of all these things. And then during emergencies, stay in one room. So like, for instance, if the heat goes out or the power goes out, lock that. You guys come, everybody, bring your blankets, your extra layers of clothes, pajamas, everybody stay in one room, put that little pillow under the door, something blocking the door to keep the heat from going out. Heat does rise, heat rises, but that cold air comes in low. Hedge against all of that, and then everybody stays together so you keep an eye on each other, and then work in shift to keep everybody warm. Layers of clothes, checking on the elderly, and communicating with people every 4 to 6 hours. Every 4 to 6 hours. My wife's dad called from down south. He had no power. My wife, boy, she's checking on him all the time, having a fit, checking on him. Nope, Dad, you got to come out. Got to go to the hotel. Dad, you got to come here. So check on your people. And everybody's our people, by the way. Check on your neighbors. Let your neighbors know you're there if they need you. Let your neighbors know that, okay? But layer your clothing, checking on the elderly, communicating every 4 to 6 hours, making sure people are okay, and stay in one room if there's a power issue. Stay in one room so you know where everybody's at. You can hedge against people from freezing. If it's a freezing situation, I'm going to tell you something some of y'all ain't going to like. If a person's looking to get frostbite on his fingertips or his toes, it's the buddy system. You take his hands and put them under your armpits. You take his toes and his feet and you keep them close to your midsection, your mid area, your thigh area, because it generates heat to keep a person alive, and they'll do the same thing for you. Not being disrespectful, gross, none of that kind of stuff. Those are the warmest parts of your body, under the armpits and down in your warm area by your thigh legs and the blood, because the blood flows in these areas and it keeps you warm. So that's an emergency for your children. Teach your children, your kids, how to keep those tips safe. Even though they're covered up, you got gloves. Once that temperature hits that temperature, it's there. But the blood is still flowing. It produces heat. So your warmest areas, it's the buddy system. That's the military piece. Is the inner side of your thigh areas and under your armpits. Remember that, okay? And make sure that head stays covered. The tip of your nose, your mask is covered, because when you're out in the cold, the tips can get frostbite really easy without you even knowing it. So your ears and your nose, those things must be covered, okay? All righty, got you there. Make sure you guys know that. And then when to leave. When there's unsafe indoor temperatures, where you can't fall asleep because you won't wake up because you'll become a popsicle. So that's when you leave. That's when you literally have to know where you're going and get out and get to walking, okay? Get out and get to walking. If the door is open or a light on somewhere else, get there. If you know the police station or the neighbor or somebody, get there, okay? But don't just stay there, because at some point you'll get where your feet are too frozen to move. So get going. On sad case on just the other day, in this cold temperature, a lady walked out of the nursing home and they found her and they said she was cold to the touch. And I don't think they should have said that, because she froze to death. We know it was cold to the touch. I don't even know why they said that, but that's the news. Cold to the touch. Of course, she froze to death. But somebody was not on their job, and they let this elderly lady, they know she had issues with dementia, walk right out of a nursing home, and she froze to death. Okay, medical device failure. Make sure you guys hedge against that. When that's happening, that's when it's time to leave. You can't get any more help. You can't get oxygen. The defibrillator ain't working because the power's out. Get out of there. Seek medical help. And then CO alarm triggers. If you hear the alarm from your carbon monoxide detector, leave. Because the air is not safe. The air is not fresh. Leave. Okay, there you go. Okay, community support. Check on your neighbors. Check on your neighbors. Share warmth and power. Okay, and then stay connected with family and friends. Stay connected with family and friends. I'm almost done. I won't bore you all too much longer, and then we'll have some good questions and things like that. Spiritual preparedness. Matthew 25:4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. Don't we know about the versions? 6 was wise, 6 was foolish. Be prepared, my people. You are warned. We are warned biblically. What I'm doing is I'm just simply talking. You are already warned, so you all already know these things. Be prepared. And the 12 virgins was one of the best of stories that we can remember, that we can relate to. Let's not be like those virgins who thought that everything would be just fine. It was good to go. Let's be like the wise virgins who keeps our lamps full. Okay, don't go to bed with just a quarter tank of gas in your car. Fill it up. It takes you what, 5 minutes, 8 minutes? Fill it up. You're going to use it anyway, and you'll be good to go. And then when you guys need to warm that car up, our temperature got to 28 below, 35 below at one point, then 28 below zero, not the wind chill, the actual temperature. My car like, help me, please, help me, please. But that car has to warm up a while before the heater now comes on because it was so cold. The oil, everything is frozen, freezing cold. So hedge against those issues and everything, but make sure you got enough gas, okay? Because if I only had a little gas, it would have ran out trying to warm the car up. Those kinds of things, okay? So, but the wise took their oil in the vessels, and they had it for their lamps. They were good to go. So let's hedge against, all this kind of stuff. Buying sources. This is where you guys can get your pens and pencils out or your cameras and start snapping pictures. Amazon.com has so much of what you need. Amazon.com, you can type in everything. The generators I talked about, the knives, the food, the dehydrated food, the perishable, the dry goods, the tents, the paracord, all those things. Chargeable generator lamps that you crank up, those little hand radios that you crank up, your CBs, all those things are there. You guys can hedge against that, okay? So go there. And then Home Depot. Home Depot is your big box store. You guys, they got more things online that you don't see in the store, just like Walmart. People don't know that Walmart.com sells thousands of things that's not in their store. For instance, they sell windmills. Windmill generating systems. Walmart online sells windmills. Look it up. Look it up. When I first found that, I was looking at like a $10,000 diamond ring. I'm like, Walmart, why did Walmart got a $10,000 diamond ring? When you look at it, it's like they sell all kinds of things that you don't know about, but they sell windmills, okay? And they sell all kinds of things. And then REI.com. So these sites all got all kinds of things for country living. And then you guys know about Bass Pro. Bass Pro got a lot of equipment that usually a lot of those stores have it, but they have it in abundance, and they keep it on the shelves. They keep it ready. Bass Pro is my shop because you go there, you get some great deals at Bass Pro and Cabela's. They have some very good deals there. So keep these websites key, okay? On the REI site, there's a site that you can go, well, you're going to get that here. As a matter of fact, this is perfect right here. Rebates and savings. Go to these websites, my brothers and sisters, because you want to know what the government is giving you back on work you've done to your home or work you can do for your government property. Go to these sites, desireusa.org and energy.gov for rebates and savings on things for your home. Don't sleep these sites, okay? If you're paying out money anyway, what's wrong with you, and you're tired of that, what's wrong with you trying to get some money in? And you have not because you ask not. Our people perish from lack of knowledge. Here are sites that will give you back some money. Unusual. So don't sleep these sites. So do check them out. The government does have rebates and all those kinds of things that they give you, just like there's grants that people don't know about. And Google it on your phone. How many millions or billions of dollars in grants go unclaimed every year? Ask that to your cell phone and see what your cell phone tells you. So we show people all kinds of things. Okay, there's lots of resources we don't know. What monies does the government get back from me? What do I get back if I was born before the year 75? The 2000 or 1975. There's benefits for all kinds of things on the government site that people don't know about. So action plan. So prepare today. Get started right now, guys. Brother Kevin told you how to do a bunch of things. Build redundancy. Matter of fact, in our library, if you look on some of the earlier episodes we've done 2 years ago, we did one last year, we did one 2 or 3 years ago, we had Sister Kira on there, and she showed people how to pack a backpack or to-go bag. And she pulled like so many knives out of there, man, I almost stopped counting. She had knives all in her backpack. But she started fire. She showed you how to use that steel wool. That steel wool has a number on it. The 0000 steel wool. Just real quick, it lights up like cotton. So it starts a fire for you. You can use that steel wool as a fire starter. She showed all of that. You can even use a flint stick with it, but she showed all of that. She showed how to build rocket stoves. That's on the episode. But you want to make sure you guys be prepared by knowing all this stuff. build redundancy in every area, redundancy for electricity, redundancy for water, redundancy for food, redundancy for heat, redundancy for cold, redundancy for getting out of town. So you want a redundancy for fire. So make sure you guys have redundancy, okay? And then care for others. Don't be one that says, like they left the man on the road. The Good Samaritan had to come back and get him, but all the other people could have got him just as well and took care of him. Take care of your brother because he may be the one that saves your life. Take care of your sister. She may be the one that saves your life. So knowing these things, we have to help each other. And in conclusion, preparedness saves lives. Faith builds courage. Community builds strength. Preparedness save lives. I mean, you're good to go. You can help so many people and save yourself. Faith builds courage. We just must trust in God because he told us these things were going to happen. So by paying attention and having faith, we hedged against that because we were wise and we're good to go. And then working in a community and letting people know who you are, where you stand, and sharing information, that strengthens everything. Okay, you're good to go. So Kevin Fuller, There Are People Ministry. Thank you guys. I'm going to take it off the share screen now. And you guys got some conversation. Let's talk about it. God bless. How'd you like that? Miss Carol, your hand is up.
Hey, Kevin, what's going on?
I'm having another awesome day. Thank you. God bless you. How are you, my sister? I use my
I'm
deep
doing
voice.
good. I was able to help a sister that was on one of the calls connect with a realtor, an Adventist realtor at that in Oregon. Feel good about that.
Okay. There you
Knowing
go.
that I was a blessing to someone. If I can help someone else, all the more greater.
Okay. Got you.
My question is about wood stoves and septic systems. The sand mounds versus the actual septic tank. Could you talk about that in terms of which one do you think is more preferable for country living?
They got something that's called, and that's a good question. Thank you so much, my sister. God bless you. So they got septic systems that they put in where it doesn't have, I'll talk about this. The general septic systems only hold X amount of things that they hold, and those are good. Some of them can go 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, based off the family size. So when they see the type of home you got based off bedrooms, based off bathrooms, if you got 2 bathrooms or 3 bathrooms, okay, if you got 6 people in the family versus just 2 people in the family. So when septic tanks are put in, they're literally based off of that. So they'll know how much that tank can hold by doing the math, knowing how much water from bath showers and sinks and toilet flushes that gets in those tanks. And then that truck needs to come out and empty that septic tank. In the country living now, when you guys get to the country and you want a septic tank put in, or you go into a house that has a septic tank put in, ask and inquire about something called a backfill. Does this septic tank have a backfill? And the way they set that up, my sister, I'm glad you asked that. They got ways that they can put a septic tank in the ground so that that truck doesn't have to come out as often, and that the liquid that septic tank builds up drains off that septic tank into the backfill because the sand and or the dirt absorbs that. So when you're talking about a good septic tank, you want to make sure you have something called a backfill. So when you go past a country house and you'll see those white pipes sticking up out of the ground way back away from the house quite a ways, maybe 50, 60, even 100 feet, and you'll see it going toward the lower area. A lot of those are not just the vent tubes, but also backfills, so that the liquid part of that can drain off into the dirt and down into the sand, down into the ground, and it takes you less visits from the septic tank truck that saves you a whole lot of money. So when you're doing a septic tank, first of all, make sure you let them know, whoever putting it in, listen, there's 5 people in my family. We have 2 bathrooms. They should ask you all those things, so you'll know what you're putting there. Okay, and then if you got a good person putting it in, do you know anything about a backfill? And they'll tell you how to do that. And sister, that's to help all that extra liquid roll off. Other than that, it just builds up in the tank. Because if you just buy a $1,100 gallon tank from the big box store, they just set it down in the ground, it'll be full with 1,100 gallons. But if you tie that into a backfill, it'll take all the liquid that comes in there and it can dissipate that down into the earth, down into the sand and dirt. Okay?
Appreciate that.
Not
My
a problem.
next question is with respect to wood stoves. Could you talk about that in terms of buying and selling real estate? For my first time buyers that are doing country living, some of the lenders and the insurance companies are telling them they won't give them insurance and they won't give them a loan if there's a wood stove in the property. And as well as I do, we need wood
Wood
stoves.
stove.
Could you
Yeah.
talk about that for a second?
Yeah, that's going to be key for country living. So you will find an insurance company that will insure you, even though the majority of them hedge against that. Because remember, they're trying to get gas burning stoves out of the cities, and New York is slated to do that. I don't know if you guys even know when that was in the news years ago. It's unscheduled to happen. They're trying to ban gas burning stoves in the cities. Yes, wood burning stoves, the insurance companies hedge against it because the house is more likely to catch a fire, those kinds of things. So you could either go without that particular insurance company or do your or find insurance companies in the area or around the country that will sponsor you. They'll make sure everything is secure. You got fire, you got the fire extinguishers all in various rooms, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, the firewall, the right insulation, all those kinds of things. And so now what they make is what's called outside furnaces. They're literally big, giant, look like giant phone booths, and they're outside furnaces. And you go out there and you feed wood, and those burn for quite a while, those kinds of things. But so insurance companies will support those, but a lot of them are hedging against you now with a wood burning stove or a fireplace. So a couple of things I recommend, me personally, is the redundancy. So if you got a house, you're on the grid, you got regular electric, right, or regular energy coming in. But if that goes out, okay, you got propane heater or gas heater. If that goes out, if you can Menards or Walmart, not Walmart, Menards or Home Depot and the big box stores like Lowe's, they sell the 6 and 12-foot baseboard heaters like we had way back in the day. And these are electric, and you can tie those into your generator system. Okay, again, and you can do them in just 2 big rooms or 1 room. If everybody's in there, it depends on how your finance is. So when your generator comes on, you get baseboard heat, just like nothing ever happened. So hedge against that with redundancy. You got the wood burning stove, you got the baseboard heat, you got propane gas, all those things, and hedge against that. And then I even tell them this, even get you some sterno, but that's the little lighted cans, those little cans going to the mills. Those burn for 6 hours. So you got heat sources. But yeah, insurance companies don't want people to have the wood burning stove. They don't want you to burn wood. And that's natural. It was meant to be burned. Or not originally. We weren't supposed to have that issue. But when Adam sinned, but so let's no, we're going to have that. So this is what I tell people in my workshop or in my alternate building or in my farm. I have a wood burning stove. So in the event something does happen in the house, like the insurance says, you can't have it. But what happens if your house has a fire for another reason or issue another reason? In your wood shop, you have a wood burning stove. And you got cords of wood. And where we are, you need to have at least on the low end 7 cords of wood for a season. Okay, 7 cords of wood for a season. So hedge against that. One way you can hedge against that, if you just have to have that insurance and you don't want to lose that deal, they're going to give you a good price of insurance for your home, is put it in your workshop or your outbuilding or your barn.
Okay.
Once they leave.
Last question for my first time clients that are doing country living. What's the number one mistake? If you narrow it down, I know it's hard. Can you narrow it down to one thing that you see a lot of first time buyers doing when they purchase a property for country living? Thank you for taking my question.
Not a problem. I appreciate you. Not doing their due diligence. Not knowing the distance to where they are to Walmart, for one. And that's what I mean by that. There is a reason for that. So I always use Walmart as an example, because one of the reasons to move to the country is be self-prepared, checking your land, knowing where your flood table is. Is it a flood zone? Do you have tillable land? Do you have land rights and mineral patents? People don't check all those things. A lot of people don't even clear the titles. Check your area. Check your neighbors. You can kind of know your neighbors. There's a website we have up on Wisconsin, where we are, where you can just punch in. It brings up. It shows you the name of everybody that lives on each plot, and you can see an aerial view from that. Know the back way out of your field. So some of the things that people do is not do their due diligence on what you can plant on your land or what you can grow on your land or what you can put on your land. I'm going to put a trailer. I'm going to put 2 trailers, a house, 4 barns and all this. And you come to find out that regulations don't allow you to do that. And then you go to plant on your land and you find out because you didn't check, you're not zoned agricultural or you just zoned residential. So you want to check and see how you're zoned, what they allow you to do, what they allow you to put on your land, what they don't allow, those kinds of things. So one of the biggest mistakes is checking with the county assessor to see what your rights are, and then checking on your land rights and your land patent and mineral rights for the land that you're going to live on. That's the big thing. Okay? Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Brother Fuller.
Welcome, my
Appreciate
sister.
you.
Gotcha. Monica. I'm sorry. I see you, Kay.
Sorry. Okay. So I have a question for the Canadian TAP team. Do they have a list of some of the things that you have covered for people living in the States?
Yeah, yes. Well, we'll put this online for you to get that, and then yes, it's easy for them to look up and research that. But we can do that. So anything you need, realistically, it's not hard. Google it. It's so simple.
The way they went around things.
Okay, you better mute. Talking about you're going to send 10 carrot cakes this way. Is that what we need to be hearing? 10 carrot cakes? Okay. But no, my sister Monica, a lot of this stuff you can look up for Canada, and we do that. So if you like, you let me know the region that you're in, and we put together a piece for you and get that to you in an email. We can do that. Tell me what all your interests are, and we can do that. But yes, a lot of the things that's here applies to you, believe it or not. It's not that much different. It may seem like it is, just like with Thomas Net, where you can order all those things. They list every manufacturer in the United States and Canada. So all the services that we have here, you qualify for.
Okay, thank you.
Plus, you're my sister. Okay, God bless. Okay, Sila. I'm sorry, Kay was there. Let me do Kay first, please, real quick. Kay.
There's a question in the chat. It's asking, if you fail the septic test, what is the next step for septic? And what do you think about bioseptic tank? What is the best one to get?
So what I think about, if you fail the septic test, that means that septic tank is cracked, basically, or not happening. It needs to come up out of the ground, or just need to have a whole new one put in. And then I mean, it's basically they even got bio tanks that can do. They got based on what's happening now. It's going to really be your preference. My preference is get you just a good general septic tank, a 1,200 gallon to a 2,000 gallon. If you can go that big, some people go even larger, but still add a backfill. And because again, it disperses the liquids out, and then by using Rid-X and various chemicals, it can eat the solids and takes a long time. There's people that's went 1.5 to 2 years, and some longer, without ever having to have a septic truck come onto their property. That's great. That's remarkable. Okay, and that's because of the backfill and the type of chemicals that you use in there. So biotanks are great. They have special performance and things that they do, but still a backfill is going to be one of the biggest key things. But if you fail that septic test on that property, and usually that comes when it's either overran or cracked or sealed or busted or ruptured or something in the ground they got issues with, those things need to be squared away. Okay, thank you. Sila.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I have 3 questions. I'll try to keep them short. One is, okay, I have a bad back, and you're talking about backpacks and getting ready to hike out and stuff. And
Your phone's Sila, your phone's
finding out how
up.
much
Okay.
you can endure and so forth. So hunters use limit. Better now?
Yes, go ahead. Say that again. You said I'm talking about backpacks, and you got a week back, and you had it about 2 weeks back. Get it? Week back, 2 weeks back? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah, I bought I don't know what it's called, but it's what hunters use when they catch or when they shoot a deer or an elk.
Yes, ma'am.
And I bought one of those thinking that, I could at least push it or pull it,
sure,
with my stuff on my gear strapped down to it.
Yes, ma'am.
I haven't had a chance to actually practice with it, but you're talking about backpacks, and I'm wondering, can you talk about like a really good backpack for somebody with a bad back that's ergonomically correct?
Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a good question. So when you buy a backpack, most people buy a backpack, they just want to throw it over their shoulders and go on about themselves. A good backpack should go just about down to the waist, a good waist as well, especially if you're carrying a heavy load in the military, so that it has a belt that comes around your waist and give you strong support. That way it becomes, and then you got the shoulder straps just right, and you got the straps that don't chase you and cause those rashes and everything. When you got that backpack just right, it also needs to have a space between your back there where it can breathe. So not like me when I was carrying the watermelon up the mountain this past summer, I got to sweating because I had a watermelon in my backpack and John in my arms. but it should have space between there, and it should be on a frame. The reason it's key that it be on a frame because it locks into the body and it takes the weight off your back. So that's a very good question. A good backpack alleviates a lot of the weight from the back and puts it on your legs. And you say, well, that's going to hurt. No, it doesn't. The legs are designed to wear that. So it should be a long backpack with a nice frame structure to secure you. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Kevin.
Okay.
Wait, hold on a minute. She had two more
And
questions.
the other thing is,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Sheila.
yeah, the second question is how to load the back of my pickup truck with a bad back, because getting inside going all the way up towards the cabin is a little bit hard. And so I've just been trying to figure out how to load the truck with the gear so that I'm ready to go.
That's easy.
In case I have to.
That's easy. That's called the neighbor's kid. Come here, I got something for you to do.
Okay.
Yeah, if a truck's in your garage, if you got a good garage, trucks in your garage, those kinds of things, that's a good place to store stuff. And to keep you from lifting so much, if you hang those things on a hook, that's right at that right weight for you, you just simply lift and turn, lift and turn, lift and turn. Makes kind of a good sense that you can store stuff on a table that's waist tight, so you can just turn, grab it and turn.
True.
You can't see me on the camera, but you can just, my camera's still not working, so you can grab it and let me see if my camera's working now. My camera just it's been out for all time, so you guys don't even see me, do you?
No, I don't see you.
Yeah, my camera's still not working. Okay, I'll leave you alone, camera. But if you can put it up waist high on a table, things like that in the garage, you can build those or hooks that you can hang them right on the wall and just turn and put those right there, right into your truck. But yeah, there's always going to be some challenges when you got to get things. A lot of things you can also leave at the cabin so that when you do have an emergency, a lot of stuff is already there. So you want to have redundancy anyway.
I thought they might make a kind of like a tray on wheels that you can roll, you can pull it out.
They do. They have that. They do.
What would that be called so that I can search for it?
I'll find out for you. Yeah, that you can. They do make those, and that's what you were talking about when they got the sleds too. You can pull it behind you, put it, and you strap it on almost like the strap like a harness, and it's got a long piece on it, and you pull it, and those can be on coasters. If it's snow, they're sled form like that, and you can pull people on that. You can pull.
Oh, when you said coasters, that's a good idea because I could even make that and just have a piece of plywood on coasters in the back of the pickup truck.
Don't tell anybody yet. Wait till you make it so we can patent it and then we can sell it.
There you go.
Like
okay. Thank you. The last question is, I got a little buddy propane heater, and I put a tank attached to it, but it smells inside the house, and so I haven't used it. So what are the safety, what can a person do when that's the situation?
You got a propane tank that stinks inside the house?
Yeah, it's a 5-gallon tank, and the little buddy runs off of it. I really don't want to disconnect it because I don't know how I'm going to get it reconnected by myself. So anyway, but I wanted to practice with it. But when I tried it inside the house, it started smelling. So I turned it off and moved it outside.
Yes, ma'am. That usually means there's a leak, or there's really stale gas. That usually means there's a leak there. So yeah, you want to get that outside anyway. You want to get that outside. You want to be safe with it. Who's unmuted? Somebody's unmuted that I'm hearing. Francine? Is that Francine?
Yes, Francine. I muted her and she unmuted again.
Francine, I'm going to mute you. I'm going to mute you. There you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for answering my questions. I'm ready. I'm finished.
All right. Thank you. Somebody else had a question. Who was that? It was a gentleman.
That was me, Kevin. I was going to say that the backpack, you can get the modular military backpacks, which you can offload the weight and easily distribute the weight so you won't have back problems.
There you got it. Can you put that in the chat for us somewhere? But yeah. And then if you go to Iron Planet or govplanet.com, GOVPLANET, govplanet.com. A lot of those military backpacks are auctioned off all the time for really, really, really pennies. So are generators, so are Humvees. A lot of military stuff is there that they use. Tents, that's where I got all my big tents and large things from. GovPlanet, GOVplanet.com. They have auctions almost every other day. And you just have to have everything shipped to you or stuff you can go pick up. But the frame you're talking about is absolutely right. So it evenly distributes the weight. So a lot of times, even though, we had to do 16 miles with a ruck pack on and fully packed with all kinds of stuff. But what you're talking about, if you pack a backpack just right for yourself, you'll be good to go. He's right. With a good frame and things like that, evenly distributed just right, you can do it. And your hands are free. Your hands are still free at that point. So you're good to go. But make sure you have access to your knives and to your bear spray and those kinds of things. Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Francine. This is my first time getting on this line.
Welcome.
But I am a handicapped person. I do not walk really. I ride a scooter, a motorized scooter. And I have a van that has a lift on it for my scooter, but I've also been told that I can have my van equipped with a charger that will charge my scooter while I'm driving.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I don't know if you know anything about where to get something done like that.
If you got that's a 6-volt battery or a 12-volt battery. I think that's like a little 6-volt battery on the scooters. Am I right? But
no, there are 2 batteries in the pack. I don't know what.
Yes,
I don't know what they're
If you go to the auto store, I know what you're talking about. If you go to, matter of fact, you can Amazon and Google it. But if you go to the Auto Zone, because that's either going to be a 6-volt or 12-volt. I don't think it's a 12. I think it's a 6. But anyway, they got those adapters that hook right up to it, so you can charge your cell phone. It's just going to drain your battery a little bit, but that's okay because you have it fully charged anyway.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about charging the scooter itself while I'm driving, so that wherever I'm going, when I get there, I would still have power to ride my scooter. Because like I said, I don't really walk anymore. And so I'm just trying to figure out where to go to get the...
I'm going to have somebody get your phone number and call me, or I'll call you. I'll look that up for you. You'll give me the name of your scooter and the type of vehicle you got, and I'll look that up for you.
Okay.
So put your number in the chat, or somebody match up with my sister Francine there and get that information and get it to me. Rita or Kay, or anyone that's on here. And
Lori is the one who told me about you.
Thank you so much.
So if she can give you my phone number or something, that's fine.
There you go. And you're Francine. Francine, what state are you in?
New York.
Okay. I'm not coming there to fix it though, Francine. I'm not coming to New York, Francine.
Well, I don't live in New York City. I live in the state of New York.
Okay, then I'll come. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, God bless you. We got you. Okay, I see Bill. Bill Bishop.
Hey, Kevin.
How are you?
A couple of things. When you want to charge a scooter off your vehicle, you need a power inverter. What that does is it allows to charge the scooter. The scooter may only be charged at 5 volts or 3 volts. So a power inverter allows you to simultaneously charge other stuff off of your battery. Your battery only has 12 volts. The inverter allows you to conserve the battery and convert off of your, if you have a gas vehicle, it'll be coming off of your alternator. So the power inverter is what you use.
Absolutely. That does make sense, because your scooter, Francine, it simply plugs up to a regular house outlet, correct? And if that's correct, you're absolutely right. Thank you for that, Bill. Just a regular inverter. Just go to a place to get your power inverter that hooks to your alternator, hooks to your battery, however they got those hooked up, or plugs right in. But make sure if it's a plug into the lighter piece, you want to hedge against that. You want to see if you can get it where they hook it up a different kind of way. And yeah, it'll charge it up while you're driving, because if you just got a regular outlet, you simply need an inverter.
It doesn't plug into like the cigarette lighter thing.
I'm talking about it plugs into your home charger. I mean, your home outlet, right? Your regular one, your regular scooter.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So yes, you just need an inverter. So when you go to the mechanic, you go to a mechanic shop and tell him you just want to know if he can just direct you to an inverter. Even if you went to AutoZone or one of the auto stores and tell them you need an inverter for your scooter, and they'll show you the inverter there. He's absolutely right. And some of them plug in to a lighter, or some of them hook to the alternator or right to the battery. And then you run that to your car, and you just simply charges it up. Every time you get in, you just simply plug it right into the inverter. We have one in our car right now. We got an SUV, Suburban, and we have an inverter.
Well, I have a Dodge Grand Caravan, and
Yes,
the
ma'am.
one I had before this one, it had it already in there.
Yep.
But this one doesn't have the place to plug it in, so
Not a problem.
I
Just an
wanted
inverter.
to find out about doing that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Chris
Thank
Briss.
you.
Chris Briss. I can hardly. I think you said, "Can you hear me?"
Okay, good. The lady
No, I can't hear you. I said, I thought you said you're too low. You way down.
Wow, I don't know what's going on. I'm speaking out loud. I know what's happening. I know. Give me a second. I'll come back. Give someone else.
Sound like you under the water. Okay. Dr. E, I see you unmuted. Dr. E, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I didn't know I was unmuted.
No, I'm just checking on you since I saw it.
But let me just ask this question. Somebody was telling somebody about these things, preparedness and all that, and all the websites that we could go to get ABC. And he said, oh, I have ChatGPT. I said, will ChatGPT help you with this if it is a time of crisis? That is what somebody said. He said, you don't need all this. All you need to have is ChatGPT. What do you say about that?
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Honestly, in all truthfulness, ChatGPT will give you directions on where to find items, but ChatGPT will not keep you warm or fed, but it will show you how to find things. So I don't dog anybody for saying it, but for saying all you need is ChatGPT is ludicrous. The Bible has already told us what's going to happen, what we need to do. And how we need to do it. It gives us warning and insight. We need to be in the country. We need to be there now. We need to be self-sustaining. We need to have redundancy. We need to be like the 6 wise virgins. We need to be on point. And we need to help others and assist others. Those are key things that we need to have. To say we rely on ChatGPT is ludicrous. That's kind of crazy. But people can look on there and find some things and find some resolve. It's meant to be used for you to do those things, but it's not meant for you to put your life or your soul on the line for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Chris Briss.
All right. You can hear me better now?
All right. I can hear you better now.
Yeah. Okay. So the lady who was talking about the converter for her scooter,
Yes, sir.
simply go to U-Haul.
Okay.
U-Haul will take care of the whole thing.
Didn't know that. There you go, Francine. We're learning. He said go to
Yeah.
U-Haul.
That's what they do in their garage. They hitches, all kinds of converters. That's U-Haul. Make it simple, especially for someone of her status. Just go to U-Haul, and they will take care of it.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes, sir.
There you go, Francine. All right, Bill Bishop, I see your hands up.
Yeah, I heard people talk about preparedness. Since I am Officer of Emergency Management Preparedness, I'll do a couple of classes on that and where you can get the manuals and stuff. Chat is not highly recommended because things change. And AI is only for stuff in the past, and new regulations come out all the time. So AI will not have the latest stuff. It'll be referring what's already out there.
Can you give everybody a little insight on your background? And I think they'll appreciate that.
I have 35 years of federal, state, local government experience with Office of Emergency Management, cybersecurity, U.S. Army's CCOM communications, which means we build communication from ground up. So 15 to 20 years of special ops. If you said U.S. Army, I'm U.S. Army. So
Army strong.
Army strong. Army of one.
Yeah.
My
God.
I also have a background in communications. And when I'm talking about communications, I ain't talking about PR. I'm talking about radio communications and survival communication. One simple thing is if you get those blankets with the silver thing on them, the aluminum foil, you can also wrap them use them for protecting your computers and stuff from EPM blasts. So that's another thing those blankets for.
Thank you. That's the heat blanket, the Mylar blankets.
Correct.
You got things that'll protect you guys against the EMP, electromagnetic pulse. And they sell those Faraday bags that you can put, cell phone in, tablets in, those kinds of things that protect you against that. They're on Amazon. If you order one of the Faraday bags and put your cell phone in it, and somebody standing right next to you call you, your phone won't ring. When you open the bag up and pull it out, it's going to say you missed a call. And so those protect against EMPs. And that's what I was telling everybody, that when you got an extra phone or a tablet, and the charger, put it in there, especially when you got your flashcards loaded with files that you've put together with, digitize all your personal information, then get everything off of YouTube, digital Bible, digital home to all the stuff from YouTube by buying your YouTube downloader software. Put all those on micro SD cards, get them all in those bags, and in the Faraday bags, and you put all that stuff away so that when you're in the country, in case there's an emergency, you got the solar charger in there, you got the tablet and everything, because it didn't get affected by an EMP. And then you got videos that give you how to do and how to survive and how to dig this and put up a house and all those kinds of things. But thank you, my brother. I wanted them to hear you and hear your background. And we will be talking with you soon to see if we can actually get you on the show and you can give our people all kinds of real insight on real security, on really what's going on. Does that make sense for you?
It makes sense for me. Yeah.
God bless you. We can't wait to have you. So you got to let me know when we can do that.
For everybody that don't have all that stuff, aluminum foil with the silver and the gray background, aluminum foil also will do that. Very home remedy.
There you got it. Thank you. Jill. Y'all forgive me because my camera is out. It's saying it's not working today. It was working just a little bit ago when we first came on. I'm not going to take it apart right now. Jill, can you unmute for me? I see your hand up. I'll give her a minute. Anybody else while Jill has to unmute there? All right. So there's a lot going on. And Jill, when you get unmuted, just go ahead and talk. So there's a lot going on, people, that we need to be aware of. There's a lot of things that's happening. We're working on a piece that's making people aware of what you eat. Go ahead, Jill. I see you.
Thank you so much. How's everybody? Good night.
Awesome. Good night, Jill.
My question is not a question, but it is something that I would like you and Rita maybe to share on. This is so interesting. It's so helpful. And I thank you guys for all that you do. I mean, it's amazing, all the information that you provide. What I would like to know is, just like we had the storm, and then you talk about how the temperature was way below zero and such and such and such. I'd like you to share with us, without getting too much personal information out, how your few days before that storm and all hit and before that temperature went that low up until now, what you all did at home.
Oh, thank you. You're super duper awesome. One of the things we did, because we're literally in the North Woods, so we're literally an hour away from the top of the country. And when the temperatures drop at 32 below, we have there's a you got a heating system. Your heating system could be challenged if your house doesn't have current insulation and all those kinds of things. But you notice something differently immediately. You'll notice that one room may be extremely cold. No matter what you do, it's not going to heat up. So that tells you something about your house. You'll know all those things. So when you got thermostats, multiple thermostats in your house, you see in one room is 70 this and the other room is 60 something, and you see it start to drop. You're like, there's an issue somewhere. Something's blocked or sealed. So one of the things that we did immediately was start to put up plastic. We had put it up earlier prior to that, actually, but to put up plastic on the doors and the windows because you got multiple doors. And then we noticed that the cat had actually slit one of the plastics by sharpening her nails. And that's where and you lose so much heat like that because heat rises. But that cold air comes in from the bottom and why are my feet cold? And sure enough, that was coming in. But another thing that you can do that you have to be careful with, one of the things we hedge against, because we want to make sure our kids are safe from what you do. If you got an electric stove and oven, you can turn that on and heat that. That works. That kind of offsets it, not low, because you're not looking at a carbon monoxide output, those kinds of things. But you could turn that on. But sealing, but we made sure things were sealed. They got rugs you can put under the door. They got those strips now that goes right under each door and above the door to keep all that extra air out. All those kinds of things was key for us.
Okay.
So that does help you hedge against that. And now I see, is it Vernita?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. What was the you were saying about the grants? What was the site to show that there's lots of grants that you said haven't been used?
Oh, I'm saying you can Google that. Google it on your,
Yeah.
and now the question you're asking is what is the site?
I mean, what's the wording? You know.
Oh, well, just ask them how many grants go unclaimed. So then, as you start to form a business or decide you want to do something, if you want to have a for-profit business, if you want to have a not-for-profit business, if you want to grow a farm, if you want to start doing agricultural things, growing organic vegetables, if you want a youth ministry, if you want a safe haven where adults, seniors, older people can come into the farm, with you got raised beds, they can even have wheelchair accessibility, and they can go and start putting their hands in the dirt, planting things like that. You can submit for grants for those things. So show you how to set things up. There is money that's put into grants every single year, and they're not all government grants. And that's what people make the mistake, because some people get fanatical. I don't want no government grant. I don't want no government all in my money. Then leave it alone. It sit right there. I'll take it, because you know what to do with it. You don't tie it to your church. You don't tie it to your soul. You tie it to a business. And if that business is doing its job, then you're good to go. If you tied it to a church, and then you're tied to the government. That's what people don't understand. You don't want to do that. But then there are also other grants that comes from philanthropists and named foundations, and people sleep those. And we walk you through, because we have a consult business as well. We walk you through how to qualify for those, how to know what's right, all those things, what what business you're trying to do, and make the match right there. So there's all kinds of things you can do. There's lots of money, and they've always put that in books every year. Willie Lynch, I don't know if y'all ever heard that name before. Willie Lynch said, put it in the book, they won't read it. And sure enough, I was a librarian even in high school, but frequent in the library. There's a book in your library right now every year that shows you about grants and what those grants are for. When that year ends, if nobody got that money, it moves somewhere else. So there are grants for everything, especially if you want to move to the country. There are grants for studying the patterns of the deer. There are grants for studying the trees and the moss on the side. There are grants for studying the water. There are grants for studying the space and the air and the dirt and the soil. There are literally, and these grants come with salaries. There are grants literally available for cultivating and cooking food, doing or growing food and growing organic. And there are grants for you to have to raise food to bring it back into the, you raise it in the rural to bring it back to the urban to sell and or to give away in the food deserts. And there are salaries there. So there are grants for construction and all kinds of things, but our people are used to just, and this is not anything in a bad way, I'm not trying to say it in a negative way, we don't believe in these things. We think it's all too good to be true, while other folks have them, getting them, running and doing the things that they do. And we're just used to working for people and still think we have to go there. But yet, we say we serve God. It's so the cattle on 1,000 hills is all his. That don't mean 8,000 hills. That mean all the hills. So our God is the creator. So there's so much we can do to help each other. And people are afraid that they're gonna, when you don't tie a grant to your church, you don't tie. People say, I want to open a church with a grant. No, I don't advise that to anybody, because now who's in charge of your church? Jesus is the head of the church. Don't tie that into your grant. Do something with a grant, and your church is going to exist anyway. So don't think fanatical. The government, Uncle Sam, knowing what I'm doing, going to do all this. He know what you're doing just from you going to the corner store. Because everything is digital, and you got your phone with you that tells everywhere you go, and there's license plate readers on every street corner that tells every time you've been in the community or the neighborhood, and there's license plate readers when you go across the border to tell what house you went to and how long you stayed there. My brother's on here, Bill's on here, he'll tell you that. There's security. You're watched and monitored with every single thing you do, every single church you think you have, and all those kinds of things. And so don't worry about what they're going to do. It's what you're doing. Is what you're doing legal, ethical, in right with God and above board, and you're good to go. Our God has you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Chris Briss.
Brother Kevin.
Brother Chris.
I did find a property.
Yes, sir.
It has 5.7 acres for $19,000.
In Wisconsin. I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to see you.
No, it's in Tennessee, right? But here is the catch.
Okay.
It's surrounded by water, so you have to have a boat to go on there.
I'll take a Gilligan's Island.
So I've been struggling with it. I like the idea, but the escape route.
Yes,
Um,
not a problem. I got 5 kayaks. But listen, is there resources on the property? Can you have electric on the property, or is it it's going to be generator based? Those kinds of things, because there are islands that's for sale, and 5 acres is 5 point some acres is a nice piece. But does it have electric there?
no,
Okay, so that's a no.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then you know, I mean, you get out there and get the building and do your thing. That's a lot of acres. You have enough wood. Just boat it out there. That's good. You good to go. I'd buy it.
I thought of it in the sense of, planting,
Sure.
because it's surrounded by water, so there's lots of water supply there. That's what I thought of. But as far as living, it was the property they've been trying to sell it for a long time, but because the only access to the island is boat,
Sure.
that's why they were unable to sell it. So they bring it down from almost 300,000. It went all the way down to 19,000.
Yep. There you go. I mean, it's a place to live. Do what you want to do on it. Have some fun. Where you regulate it? What's it zone at? What can you do? But yeah, that's an option. But I mean, realistically, I wouldn't. I mean, just for fun, I would have it. I would take it, but not for any, resources, because you can get stuck out there. You got emergency with children and all those stuff. Imagine us trying to get in the kayak with babies hollering and screaming, or docking the boat. Those kinds of things. But yeah, that's something. Thank you.
So I'll look into it a little bit more.
Okay, there you go. Look into it. Check it out. God bless. Anybody else?
This is Francine again.
Hey, Francine again.
I have a lot of experience in writing grants for the city school district here.
Yes, ma'am.
And I tried to do some things that I thought would be helpful, not just to the school district, but to the community at large. And one of the things, we had a doctor that was kind of encouraging people to eat organic food. Mm-hmm. And he kind of hooked us into one of the farms around where we could go once a month and get as much as we could to take back to the community and distribute food to low-income people. Sure. And but we also benefited because we could take whatever was available.
Sure.
That's something that I would like to look into doing again, is to see what kind of grants are available, because it's easy to find out what's available. The hard part is writing it up.
Okay, so what Donald Trump did was put one of the first things he did. We just had the issue with the SNAP benefits. Before that ended, he had just funded money for agricultural in the grants. Donald Trump had just put more money in there for agricultural. So there's tons of grants there for organic gardening or farming and cultivating. There are grants for that. There is money for that. And the hard part is not writing it up. That's what a grant writer does. There's one young lady that we work with out of New York. She's working with part of the people that we serviced before. She's doing like 5 micro grants for like under $1,000. And micro grants total like 50, go up to like 50 grand. So imagine paying $1,000 for after you, of course, you got all your paperwork done, you incorporated or you're not for profit, those kinds of things, and then having a grant writer that can submit those 5 of those for under $1,000. Imagine getting a win on 2 of those. That's $100,000. It costs you less than $1,000 to get. Your seeds and everything is there. I use the example all the time with cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, you can get off a clean acre. It takes 3 guys to work an acre of cherry tomatoes. But in one season, cherry tomatoes, in a Wisconsin season, cherry tomatoes can give you $75,000 to $200,000 for that acre if you're working it right. So in a summer season or Tennessee season, you got a longer growth, or Alabama somewhere, you got longer growth. So you can make money on seeds, and that's what people sleep. Even when you get a grant, just to grow it. And to teach people, you can put into that grant, you're growing it to teach people how to grow it. So if you put into that grant, I'm growing this to teach people how to grow it, that didn't account for what you're doing with it once it's grown. So once it's grown, now you got a whole nother business going on, but now you can also train people to market and or sell. You got organics and you can deliver just like you did. So what my wife and I did, we got 40-acre farm down in Beloit, Wisconsin, which is right down by the Illinois border. And we would grow on that, and we did something called shelter in place, where the shelters didn't have to come out. They stay in their place. We was taking food to all the shelters, and we growing all organic, all kinds of goodies and stuff like that. But then we get to can and do all that, and then we're on the market. You can market. So grants allow you to do all kinds of things. And then when you can also get equipment, you can use that equipment. You can use that equipment to work on other people's farm, because when you're done using what you used it for, when you got it on your farm, what do? Put it in storage? No. Rent that out to somebody else. Who else needs it? Okay, my driver's coming over. He's charged X amount, and do all the farms up and down the street, because all farmers don't want to go out and buy a heavy piece of equipment. So they share it. So we show you multiple ways to make that work and multiple ways to create revenue through that. So we write up full business proposals, prospectuses, and the whole layout from A to Z, even your board, how to lay out and structure a board and all those kinds of things to get you going. So don't have any worries there. We can help you with that. Bill. Brother Bill Bishop.
Sorry about that. My mic was off. I put a lot of information about private grants that you can search through Google. And then I also put some of the most recent federal grants through the USA funding applications. They have a list of the 2026 grants for the government that comes out. Also, federal gov, USA.gov also has listings as well for the current ones that the federal government is funding. So those are resources there. I also put a lot of them in the chat as well, so people can look up there and see.
There you go. There is a lot of grants, people, available. And again, those are gov grants, and there's even more than what you see, because usually those government grants, though, all the government sites should be free to register. So somebody telling you got to pay to register on a gov site, that's an issue. So be aware of that. Those are free to register. And technically, a lot of the micro grants, if you guys know paperwork, a lot of you can do your own. When one of the sisters did her own, several, you can do your own on a lot of the micro grants. However, if you don't know how, you don't have the time, then there are services, there's people we match you up with that can help you out. Okay, so and then there's the order in which you do things. Okay, making sure you know what you're doing. When you get that grant and you put in for that grant, make sure you allot for everything you do, that you do everything you say you're going to do, or you're going to meet Bill, because he's into security and all those kinds of fun things. But don't buy toilet paper out of that grant if you didn't put in to buy toilet paper for that grant. Use a grant. I saw a lot of people go to jail and get in trouble in the city of Chicago with doing all these things with grants when they got it, and they spent all this money wrongly because it wasn't what you said you were going to do. And on the other side of that token, I saw this young lady she got $1 million to grow a farm in the city of Chicago in the middle of two houses. She just simply grew a farm in the city. And Kellogg gave her $900,000 that year, and another company gave her $100,000. You know, all she had to do was go around and do, I think, between 5 and 9 speaking engagements. Oh, that's it, to tell what she did. And the only thing she can tell was, I grew a garden in Chicago. But there's money out there for all kinds of things. Just focus on that. And I say this, and not to be mean, but the Bible says the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. So things you want to do, you can do. And then it says, occupy till I come. And then it says, go to the ant. The ant is busy. When that season comes, where the snow's going out of the way, the ant gets working. We need to get to work, y'all. We need to get busy. We need to be occupied and not worrying and stressing and crying and complaining and being grumpy, and then help each other. Thank you. I see you again, Bill. Go ahead. And then we're going to wind down.
Yeah, one thing about grants, you're right. I do a lot of, not only I help with grants, but I also do a lot of enforcement. One of the problems with grants is if you get a grant, reporting is so key. Most require paperwork and reporting. Federal grants, every quarter, if you get a grant, sometimes you have to put 1 or 10% to it, but you have to keep your receipts of what you spent the money on related to that grant. That's also key to it, because you want to keep funding, especially with federal and private foundation. They want to see reporting, annual reporting or quarterly reports.
Thank you. That's so key. Somebody's unmuted there. That's so key because we teach that. We show you guys that you always want to be audit ready. You want to do audit ready. When you do your KPIs or KPIs or key performance indicators, all those kinds of things, you want to be audit ready. And when you should have if you got a board, you got a nice company, you should have a compliancy office of compliancy. That's one of the services we offer, where you actually audit and check everything on a regular basis. I mean, weekly. So every month you can give a report, and then every quarter you know where you at. When it comes time to be half the year, you got everything set. When it comes to anytime they come into an audit, you got everything already done, already locked up. You know where everything is, and then you can do accounting along with your accountant. Okay, so you want to be ready, because you always have to be audit ready. You have to get three bids on everything you buy or sell. So you want to do this, you want to buy this, you want to buy that. You got to get at least 3 bids. You just can't take a bid. You got to get at least 3 bids. And these companies are like you. And then at some point, the difference between the government grants and the philanthropist or named foundation grants is the named foundation grants is in a lot of cases after a while is less paperwork, and then they want to build a relationship with you. They'll do a lot of things for you. The government, and one thing about the government grants, once you get in there, stay in there, because if you let time lapse, it's hard to get that back again. I think Bill can tell you about that as well, because you got to get back in line basically, or go through so much more red tape to get that. But keep everything right, keep your books straight, keep your receipts and your bills, and it'll keep going.
Yeah, the one thing on government grants, if you get out of compliance, you cannot get back in line until 10 years. Some of the grants.
There you got it. Told you there's a little time between that. Yeah, you want to be compliant. And it's not hard, people. I mean, that's who we are. We want to be compliant with what we do. Don't sleep it. Don't fall asleep on it. Don't be late. And it pays you. It will pay you because you put those things in the grant. Okay? So go to our website, therearepeople.org, and please subscribe. Go to the bottom and register for weekly updates. We do a Sabbath service at 1 o'clock on YouTube. So get in our email. We do an awesome Sabbath service. We do this every Thursday. We got a lot of events coming up. But you'll get those things in the mail. We got an awesome team. God bless you all. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. I apologize for my camera going out. It was on when we first got started. But thank God for the opportunity to be able to talk with all of you. Anybody need anything special, reach out, and we can research for you. My sister, don't forget, they told you if you go to U-Haul, they can help you, Francine. They can help you with that hitch piece. Okay, get that squared away so you can charge your scooter. But I do not want to know next week that you got a speeding ticket. Okay? So be laughing, run somebody over, and then start laughing. So God bless you all. Let's pray, and then I'll stick around for a few minutes if anybody got anything else, okay?
Okay.
God in heaven, we just thank you for this day. God, we thank you for our brothers and our sisters. God, we thank you for this lesson. We hope, God, that it's been a blessing for your people. We pray, God, that they be guided. God, that some people are urged and nudged, God, to get going and get moving immediately. God, that we waste no time. Again, forgive us for our sins and our transgressions, God. Some of us are slow, God, but you said consider the ant, God. And then you said, you old sluggard. We don't want to be called you old sluggard. We want to be right on time and be ready when you come, Lord. So bless us, keep us, cover us under your blood. We send these prayers up to you, our Lord and Savior, in the most holy place of the heavenly sanctuary. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody.
Amen.
Anything you guys need, make sure you reach out. Anybody got anything else real quick?
Kevin,
I'm
it's
just
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
about
Barbara.
Hi.
Okay, I had talked to you a little bit before about the grants,
Yes, ma'am.
and my son lives in Canada. He has 25 acres. He's already on a head start of trying to prepare as much as he can.
Yes.
But I think he has a lot of opportunities. He raises chickens. He's got 25 acres to do a lot. But I tried to look on the internet for Canadian grants, and I was very limited because it seems like everybody is just promoting their service, because apparently it does take a lot of work to fill out those papers and you have to do it right. So I couldn't find anything except people promoting their service to do those grants. So is there any way that I can find out a little more or about the Canadian grants?
Yes, ma'am. Not a problem. So Barbara, I think you got my number. Call me and tomorrow, and then I'll do some piece for you. Or make sure you I think you have my number because we did talk. call me and text me first, and let me get some stuff for you.
Okay.
I did a piece on the Canadian grants. I did a piece on the UK grants. I did a piece for Europe.
Is that on video? Is that YouTube?
It should be in our website. Because all the grants, I only got one more grant episode to do. I did 5 episodes, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got episode 5 that's coming, and I have to get that out this very next week. And that'll complete my grant episode, and that goes all the way up to past $1.6 billion. How to go about doing business with the government, and how to do international business, what other companies and things you need to do, what things you need to structure and have, all those kinds of fun things. Selling to the military, fruits, vegetables, clothes, military, everything they use, they buy from somebody. But it gives you some insights on how to do that. Now we got Bill on board so that we can back up some things and give you some more insight about that and utilize him. That's a gentleman that's available for consulting because he's in the field. He's in the field of security. He's in the field of cyber. He's in the field of grants. He knows all of this stuff. He's been part of this for a very long time. So let's utilize the resources God has given us for all the help we need. And you know, some of the things he can give you for free, but some of the things he may say, look, I need a little help on my time here. So take care of and support your brothers and your sisters as well. But yeah,
Okay,
you call me tomorrow. Yes.
Excuse me, because and it seemed like the ones that were on there saying, "Oh, we have all these grants." It seemed like they were very high tech. I couldn't find anything that my son would even remotely connect with. So,
okay.
So last question, Kevin, is your grant program on YouTube?
Yes.
Or how can I get this? So what would I look for? Because you do have a lot of videos on there. So would I just look for Canadian grants, or what would I look for?
Canadian grants, I don't know how that's listed, but it is on. So I don't know which video it is. I have to find that out, but I'll research that. But if you call,
you have a lot of videos. You have a lot of videos.
I do.
So I wouldn't even know where to begin to look for it.
You begin by calling me tomorrow, so I can find something specifically for you.
Okay. Would it be better if my son called you?
It would be.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate that.
Who's sending the carrot cake? You or your son?
Pardon me?
Who's sending the carrot cake? You or your son?
Oh, well, we'll have to figure that one out yet.
Absolutely. No, I got you. God bless.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Renita.
Hi. Well, when she was talking about her son, my son said he had been, I think, emailing you or something.
I don't know. What's your son's name?
His name is James.
Not that I know of.
He said something about you were busy or something. He said he just needs to talk to somebody. Don't even have to really be you if you don't have time. He needs to just talk to somebody.
God is awesome. We gonna occupy till God come. James ain't. You tell James I'll fight him. He ain't call. No, tell him give me a call. Absolutely, give me a call. I am available.
What? And get your number directly again so I can give it to him.
So you had it once before.
I probably have. I don't know. I can't remember.
608. I'm gonna whisper it again. I gotta whisper it low so everybody don't get it. There's like 74 people on here. 608. Are you writing?
Yes, I am.
295. 6820. Don't say it loud. 608-295.
I got it. I got it.
All right, write it down. And then text me. Text me. So tell James to text me. So I say, hey, it's James. My mama said she calling you. I'm getting calling you, whatever. And then we can talk. Okay?
Okay.
Give it to him. Text me so I know who he is. And then I'll square your way. And then Francine, you do the same thing. Sister in Canada, you do the same thing so we can match up and get you squared away.
Can I get that number again, please?
What number? I was whispering. Was you eavesdropping?
No, yeah, I was, and I didn't have a pen. I got 608, but I didn't get the other numbers.
295-6820. So 608-295-6820. And you need to send me a text first because I get a lot of spam.
Okay, 208.
No, you'll never get me. 608 295 6820.
So I'm sorry, Kevin, you cut out. So could you put the last one again? You cut out.
6820.
6820. Now, is that something? Okay, I can call you, but I think I talked to you about Messenger or something that you could talk to because he is in Canada.
Not a problem. WhatsApp.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. And this is the number for WhatsApp?
No, that's my number. You can do WhatsApp. Yes, you can use it for WhatsApp, but don't give it to everybody.
No, I won't. I
No, I'm just
promise.
messing with you. God bless you. We're here
Thank
for
you,
you, my
Kevin.
sister. God bless you. We are here for you. So tell your son to call me. He can call me tomorrow as well. Before Sabbath, though. It's got to be early.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. God bless you. Everybody, we're good. You are dismissed. You don't have to stick around, and we're gonna get out of here so my wife don't get me. But God bless you. Thank you, everybody, for participating. It was good to hear from you, Chris Briss. Bill, thank you, Bill, so much. Thank you, everybody that came on board. Thank you, Daniel. Who's the other brother? Daniel, what was my brother's name? If Daniel's still here, my other brother still. Thank you guys for coming on. We're here every Thursday. We're here every Thursday. Thank you for the TAP team, and our team do a lot for you. Okay, let's see. Okay, Rita's writing in the chat. So you guys got something in the chat there. You guys go ahead and communicate. But anybody need anything else, let us know, please. Anybody got help for each other? People need land. People looking to share land. And let me tell you about a quick blessing real quick before everybody get off. We had a brother on last Thursday that said he was living in his car. He was living in his car. Some of our sisters called immediately to that Zoom. We were able to make connections with that brother and found that brother. Those sisters laid out a blessing and helped that brother. And now he's in an apartment with 3 months rent paid.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen.
Praise the
Praise
Lord.
the
That's
Lord. Praise the Lord.
wonderful.
Thank you, Jesus, for
So,
answering prayer.
Wow.
yes, so look out after
Praise
your
the
brothers
Lord.
and sisters. Let's not turn our back. Let's not be like, again, like they did the guy on the road, the Good Samaritan had to come by and give. Let's not miss our blessings. We have to be obedient. Let's not miss our blessings. We must change our character, take on the character of Christ. It's by character that we are saved. I don't know if y'all know that.
Amen.
I just want to say welcome to
Amen.
Kevin. I just want to say welcome to my friend Josie Diesel that I just told about it this evening, like even 20 minutes after the program started, as she came on board. Josie, you're welcome.
Where you at, Josie? I don't see you. Hi, Josie.
Josie, are you there? She's muted.
She's muted because my camera was off. My camera was working earlier, and it stopped working. So now if I shut it, I didn't want to shut down and come back on. But my camera's not on. But welcome, Josie. Are you available?
Josie's in New Jersey anyway. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Well, welcome, welcome everyone.
Kevin, how cold is it now where you at?
Well, earlier today it was +4. So I think now it's around 0, that kind of thing. But it's supposed to warm up. It's supposed to warm up to about I think 12. Tea on the veranda with the king with tea and crumpets. Tea and crumpets on the veranda.
Kevin, I was interested in coming.
I had my AC on today.
Stop showing off, man. My sister, you said you were interested in coming?
I was interested in coming to Wisconsin until you said that.
Oh, no. Don't let that discourage you. Our house is 76 degrees. We like our temperature. No, everything you need is in your home. God provides. Your food here, your freezer's in the garage. You have redundancies of anything. What do you need to go outside for? We even work on
Kevin.
How about fresh air?
No, get fresh. Open the door and take a breather. I was taking trash out and my nose hairs get froze, but I'm like, what? Hello.
Did you get hit by the snow really bad, Brother Kevin?
Go ahead, Chris. I can hear you now.
Did you get hit by the snow really bad?
No. I mean, we got regular snow, but no, not at all. Just regular snow. It's just cold. But again, the cold only affects you if you're hanging out in it. I mean, you literally don't live outside. Even where you live, Chris, you don't live outside.
Oh, you know.
Well, you live outside. But you do get snow. But no, we're good to go. Wisconsin, the Northwoods is awesome, by the way, everyone. Seriously. It's really almost, in a way, I want to say, I won't use the word tropical, but it's so beautiful even in the winter. It reminds me of the tropics somewhere else where it's all green, but because it's so wholesome and healthy and safe.
And it's all white where you are.
It is. But you know what? My flight is not in the winter. I'm already here. And guess what else? Not only is my flight not in the winter, somebody else coming to get me, their flight will be. They be cold.
So, Brother Kevin, can you do us a favor and do some survival programs on surviving the cold?
We're doing a lot of that this year. We actually, okay, yes, but we're doing a lot of that this year anyway in survival. So it'll be starting for spring and summer, because all of our equipment is here for that. My big tents are coming up now as we get everything moved to the new house. But yeah, we'll be doing that anyway. That was already on schedule. The King's English. That was already on schedule. Thank Chris for that. But yeah, one of the camps we're going to have too is going to be a lot of survival. A lot of things. I mean a lot. Stuff you're not expecting. I see you, Tassine. Go ahead.
Could you hear me?
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Do you know of any resources like a modular home on property has, if it's been moved twice, you'd have to get a special loan, and that's a real challenge. Do you have any resources on that?
Yeah, I got a couple brothers that they'll move it, but they charge you for that. But you got a modular home that's been moved twice.
It's the thing, yeah, it's been moved from the land, and I guess it was moved before that. It moved to a lot to be sold, and then it was moved to my land. And so that's a challenge why the land is not selling.
Yeah, that is a challenge, because usually when you move a modular home twice, that's an issue because it wasn't designed to do that. Because once you put it together, it becomes a house. But when you take it apart again, unfortunately, but it can still be sold, but you just won't expect the price that you're going to get. So what is it that you need exactly? Is a way to find a financer for it, or what are you asking?
Yeah, because people like it, but they just don't have the cash right up front, or they don't know where to find a loan.
Okay. Oh, you're the one that had, Justine, you got those two properties right outside of Walmart.
Yes.
There was a lady on last week that was interested in purchasing that property.
Yeah, I spoke to her.
Okay, great. But this sister has a beautiful property, you guys. 2 5-acre lots, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 5-acre lots. And she's far from, how far are you from Walmart?
I'm about 15, but I'm way up in the hill.
So she's about 15 miles from Walmart, y'all. She up in there. They can't find her. But she has a property for sale. And tell everybody, give us a little insight. Well, there's still like 20 people. No, there's 50 people on here. Go ahead.
So it's 1 5-acre, has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath modular home on there, about 1,650 square feet. It's totally off the grid. It has a wood burning stove. It has a well. It has septic. It has solar, and I love it. And I would just love to sell it so I can move to the mountains where Kevin is.
There you go.
And the other 5 acres is just raw land.
What kind of price you got on that? Don't mind me asking.
Well, I want 150 for the 5 acres with the house on it, and I want about 35,000 for the raw land.
So wait a minute. You're selling that big house and the other land for under $200,000.
Correct.
And people having that's a good deal. That's a blessing.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it economical.
Okay, Chris, go ahead and take care of that. Chris got you. I think that's kind of like front pocket money for Chris.
Where is it located?
It's located an hour and a half from Nashville, and 2 hours from Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, Huntsville.
What town is that called?
It's a little German town called Hohenwald.
Hole in the wall?
Yes, hole in the wall.
Why are you selling? Why are you selling?
Because I'm trying to get to the mountains.
She's going further away. Wow, that's a good.
It's very cold in there.
What was that?
It's very cold in that area.
No, we have mild winters.
No, ma'am, she's in the south. She's in the south, ma'am. She's not where we are. No, she's in the south.
Just north of
So
Alabama.
it's 10 acres. 1 5 acres has a house with how many bedrooms?
3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms for 150. And they are attached together, the 2 5 acres?
Yes, they're right across. Yeah, they're all together, but it can be split up into.
Okay. And what state is called? Sorry, I'm in Massachusetts. I'm new. I just
It's
want
in Tennessee. It's in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. I just don't want to run away from Boston, Massachusetts.
Can you guys exchange numbers? put your number in the chat. You guys check to each other because that's important. It's a nice property. It's a good value, I'll tell you that. That's a good price. So please.
I'll put my number here.
Yes.
Can she put
And
some
my
pictures
name. My husband is not on the line, but we've been praying. I feel trapped, anxious
Wow,
and
don't
trapped
feel that
here.
way. God has a place just for you with your name on it.
I want to get out of here, though.
Yes, ma'am. God bless you. Well, there's a spot in Tennessee. There you go.
Can she put some pictures in the WhatsApp, Brother Kevin?
Say
Or
that again. I can hardly hear you, Chris.
can she put some pictures in the WhatsApp so that they can see the property?
To scene. When you get a chance to scene, load up pictures in the WhatsApp. Load up pictures in the WhatsApp so they can see the property.
Okay, I was thinking about doing that just today because I saw somebody else listed, so I was thinking about. I will do that.
Well,
Thank
before
you.
you do that, the sister who just inquired, whose husband is not on, let her see him first.
What was that?
My name is Milka, and that is the number 781-526-0414.
Can you repeat, please?
I put it in the
718.
chat. 781
Mm-hmm.
526
526
0414.
Okay. We will chat tomorrow.
God willing.
Thank you.
Okay, Chris.
And I think, Brother Kevin, I pray for you. God bless you for what you do. I feel that is just what people need these days.
Exactly.
We're very behind, especially on this side of the world. We're very behind in this. But like I say, when the COVID hit, the first summit that we had the service on the phone, I start feeling that, and I told my husband, if we go through this, the first thing we're gonna do is get out of the city.
Yes.
But that goes 5 years after COVID.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're still here, and I'm starting to feel I'm late. I should be there already. And I grew up on that island. I grew up like in a very rural area, half grid and everything. And I want to go back to that because now I understand that was the best way.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, my sister. God bless you. We're here for you. We're here for you. We're here for you.
I took your number when the other lady was getting it. Maybe one day I'll call you.
Yes, ma'am. Give me a call. Give me a call. Give me a call. We got something for you. We're going to help you. We're here. Hi, Veronica Williams. I see you. Chris Briss, I think you were trying to talk, and I talked over you. Apologize for that. I couldn't hardly hear you. What you got going on? Okay, I thought he was talking. So God bless you. Then there's a sister in Texas. I'm sorry, not in Texas, in Florida, who has a mango grove on the little island there out in the city of in Florida, that has a 6 acres. She has a spot for a camper for RV. That with all the utilities and septic and water, and she's looking to have somebody there for the season, for the summer season, for $600 a month. So it's all utilities paid. You can park your camper there. She only wants one, maybe two, for a couple. And she's got a spot. So if somebody's looking for a rental spot for the summer in Florida on the little island there, reach out to me and I'll get that information to you. You can park your RV there, and it includes the electric, septic, water, all those things, and that's it. So you're just renting that spot. That's a great deal.
That's a
For
good
600,
deal.
yeah, for $600 a month, all the utilities, everything is covered. Just park your camper and enjoy Florida. She has a mango grove on the little 6 acres on the island there. Okay, so just thought I'd throw that out there. So we just try to represent God's people, and anything you guys need, reach out and touch. God bless you. I'll see you all Saturday, 1:00, hopefully, and God bless you until next Thursday as well. Be safe, be covered under God's blood. Thank you, everybody. Unmute, say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. God bless.
Thank you, Kevin.
Good night.
Bless you,
Good
man.
night. Good
Every
night.
day, everywhere,
To
everyone.
everyone. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
We're still sitting in the waiting room. Who's in the waiting room?
Good night.
9. Maranatha, shalom.
Good night. Good night,
I
everybody.
see on you, brother.
All right, my brother. God bless you. Take it easy. God bless you.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
Maranatha.
Maranatha.